Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome, come on in.
Aye, so I think that's very suspicious, don't you? He's feeling sick on the last day of his working week. Oh, right. Yeah. So, what an exciting week it's been there so far. An otter was found in the Thames. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
An otter, Lucy. We found out how much of our money Tony Blair spends on hospitality.
Booze.
Yep. Sir Macca gets it in the ear. She says, "Oh, yes, you did." He says, "Oh, no, I didn't." And as a result of the adoption row, Madonna is going to prison. And the Sun said, sorry to the Take That manager.
I am very sorry that I screwed up. Totally screwed. I mean, I am so sorry. You just don't know how sorry I am. I'm sorry.
Let's count the amount of sorries there were. It probably went into the, at least the 100,000s. An undisclosed sum. You know, the papers come in. First of all, this is LBC, and I'm Nick Abbott, because Clive is pretending to be sick on the last day of his... not yesterday, mind, but today. So where do you reckon he's gone?
I think he's at home, being very sick.
What's the matter with him?
Well, he had a bad throat last night and was struggling then.
Oh,
no! You're so sympathetic.
Yeah.
So, I think he's having a well-deserved break.
Is he?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's...
Well, no, it's not a break, obviously, if you're sick.
I don't know. I think that was perhaps a Freudian slip there.
Oh.
A break, was it?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll call in.
Maybe he will.
Yeah. You're sounding very distant.
I feel a bit distant, actually.
because you haven't put your feet up.
Oh.
Right, let's introduce ourselves, shall we?
Yeah,
I'm Nick Abbott, and I normally stuck way out in Ratings Siberia on Saturday night. And now the full spotlight, the full glare of midweek has been swivelled upon me. And through the glass, we've got, first of all, you introduce yourselves, tell us what star sign you are, and what you had for dinner.
There you go.
Ladies first. My name is Lucy.
Not a lady.
And
I don't know, just the way she said that, Alex, it was...
What's the way you just butted in?
Ladies
like
first. Would a lady say that? Perhaps not, no.
Really? I don't know, I would.
Go ahead, Luce.
I am Lucy, and I'm a Gemini.
Yes.
What else did I want to tell you? Nothing. Was that it?
What you had for dinner?
Oh, God, I've just crammed a pizza down my throat.
Oh, a pizza, eh? And how was that for you?
Well, it's a bit stodgy, isn't it? It's not very healthy.
Well, it depends. I have pizza every week, but I make it from scratch.
Oh, do you? Oh, that sounds nice.
I even have it for... Christmas dinner is a pizza, and has been for years now. For about the last... 20 years,
You're
something like that.
joking.
No, I am not joking. Christmas dinner. Pizza, yes. Not ordered in pizza, because that would be disgusting.
What, with roast turkey on it?
No, I don't abuse my body in that manner. It's like prawns, prawns and pineapple, and already people are stuck. Pineapple, they're saying? How could you?
Does it not feel...
No.
Does it feel special enough?
What does that mean?
Well, Christmas Day, I would want to have a nice special meal.
I just come in here from Gary. He's a very nice bloke. He, I don't know, maybe he's a vampire or something, but or he lives in a fridge. But this room was so cold, so I put the thermometer up to what normal human beings would consider reasonable, and the equipment must have freaked out. It's like, whoa, way too sudden a change, and now you could cook a turkey in here now. So if you come in, if we suddenly go very quiet and you come in here and there's just a stain on the carpet, that'll be me. I'm melting.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah. No, pizza for Christmas dinner, and I'm looking forward to it. I can tell you.
Roast potatoes on the side?
Oh, don't be silly. It's a pizza.
Just a pizza?
Yes.
Oh, no. And what do you have for pudding? Ice cream.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it just sounds so boring.
No, it's not boring.
But you make it yourself?
Yes, from scratch. Every little bit of it.
Okay.
Well, the prawns make themselves,
Do you do a special dough?
What?
Do you have a thin crust? Is it a thick crust for Christmas, or...?
Stuffing.
So what did you have on your pizza then, madam?
Oh, I just had cheese and tomato.
Cheese and tomato? And you call me boring?
Well, I know. But I am appalled at myself for eating that, but I couldn't think what else to have in a hurry. Curry?
Curry in a Hurry. There used to be a place just opposite me called Curry in a Hurry. Yeah, it used to be the only thing that was open late at night. And despite living opposite it for 3 years, I never went in. Why would you go into a place called Curry in a Hurry? I would want them to take their time, wouldn't you? Especially
slow curry.
Yeah,
please.
exactly. I would want them to concentrate deep and hard.
Oh, my neighbours actually used to cook curry all the time, and it started to waft under the door. Yeah, well, it smelt nice every now and again, but it actually put me off wanting to have curry.
Yeah, or eat ever again, I would think, yeah.
Yeah, and I lived next door to a kebab shop, so I wasn't doing too well, really.
And you've moved just lately, haven't you?
I have.
So you've been, and when did you move exactly? Because you were absent without leave last Saturday, that's right.
It was exactly a week today.
Yes.
So it was
So you moved
stressful.
a week, right, and so you've been sitting in your front room, holding your head in your hands, looking around your new place, surrounded by boxes and thinking...
I hate it! Well, there is always a time, I think, once you've moved in, where you sort of think, have I made the right decision?
Yeah.
I think that's when my husband's petrol was siphoned out of his car that I started to question.
What?
Yeah, within a day of us moving in, he's got an old Golf, so you can just remove the petrol cap. So someone had just helped himself to his petrol and discarded the cap.
That's incredible. I mean, who does that?
Oh, it was very annoying. He was working at 6 a.m, so, of course, as he was driving to work and he'd filled it up the night before, he thought something's wrong. So
they've siphoned... I'm speechless. Yeah. That sounds like something that would happen in the third world. That sounds like something that would happen in a Mad Max movie. I mean, we've got petrol. You just go and buy it. And
presumably, when you siphon it out, you've got to suck the tube.
Yeah.
So I only hope that that person sucked really hard and it went right in his mouth, or her mouth.
You're going to have to leave it there without any petrol in forever now, because you're marked. You have to get I don't know, can you buy...
Well, you can actually.
Oh, okay,
if you go to a car shop, you can get one with a lock on.
Right, so it was your silly fault for leaving it unlocked in the first place. The crime wave is your fault, dear.
Oh, great. I don't think it's our fault that...
Absolutely. Look at the police posters.
Who would think to do that,
They say, oh, I don't know, it's just incredible, isn't it?
I mean...
What kind of an area did you move to, by the way?
It's 16 doors down, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
It's the ghetto at the other end of your street.
It's not as though you showed up in an area that you didn't know anything about and thought, oh, that's a nice house, I'll pick that one. I wonder why it's so cheap, you thought.
There's worse than that as well.
And you just moved, like, next door.
I know. Do you want to know the other bad thing?
Okay.
There's a lady of the night in our area, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So I'm not going to describe the area too much. Just in case everyone wants to live where I live.
So you're yeah, right. You're next to a kebab shop, opposite a Curry in a Hurry.
Not anymore. We've left the kebab shop and the Curry in a Hurry. Yeah, now we're down the road.
Well, at least you'll always be able to find your way home by the red light.
Yeah,
thanks. Yeah. Right, shall I take some of these people here? Oh, have we dealt with you yet? The other person, the one that's not a lady.
Apparently. Hello, I'm Alex. I normally do the Nick Abbott show. What was it? Leo, and I'm about to have pizza.
About?
Yeah, I've got it here.
I can smell it.
Oh, there's another pizza loose.
Yeah.
You want to get in on that? What have you got on that?
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni, right, bit of meat. Okay, shall I take some of these, or...
Number one.
Number one, you say. Hello, Mark.
Hello, mate, how are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
It's nice to talk to you, Nick.
Nice to talk to you, so far.
As I say, I've told you before, but I think you do a very good show, my friend.
Well, thank you.
Obviously, you're not on regularly, are you?
Not a what, sorry?
You're not on regularly?
Regularly? Not here, no. I do Saturday nights regularly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I just thought I'd give you a ring and just say you do a very good show and it's very funny.
Oh, cheers. I feel that there's a butt coming on.
Yeah?
Like a big butt. I don't know, it's just the way, it's just the tone of your voice. Perhaps I'm completely wrong, but is this a setup for a... Are you going to pull me down? Shoot me right through the eyes?
What I think you should do, I think you should take the place of Ian Lee.
Right, well, that's a very bad idea, because he does an excellent show.
He does?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
But would you be following behind him?
Would I be following behind him?
Like show-wise, obviously.
I don't know what that means.
Would you be sort of going on more often on the air?
Would I be going on more often on the air?
Yes.
In what circumstance?
Would you be sort of coming on the air more often, doing more shows?
Would I be?
Yeah.
That... I want to be nice to you, Mark, because you started out being nice to me, but you're not actually making any sense. Would I be coming on more often?
Yes,
Isn't
on
really...
the air.
Yeah, but that doesn't actually... That's not a complete question, because you have to give the circumstance in which, and then add a question mark.
Oh, right, okay.
Let me just assume that you're being very nice, and I'll say thanks very much, and I'll talk to you later, all right?
Is that it, yeah?
Unless there's somewhere else you want to go, but don't attack other presenters while I'm sitting in for another presenter.
No, I apologise that I'm joking.
Right.
No, I just thought I'd ring up and... where's Bob and Clive tonight? They're obviously not well.
Well, that's what he's saying, yeah.
Yeah?
A lot of disbelieving people in the building right now. But hey, listen, I've got to go, 'cause I'm not used to this, but we're doing travel, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You called it a very bad time, but thanks, Mark.
Okay.
All right, cheers, mate. Another dissatisfied customer. And what do I say? Travel with Richard Hackier.
Hey, Kia.
Hey, Kia.
Thanks very much, Nick. The A20 has just...
Nick Abbott.
I'm listening, dear. You can talk to me.
Hey, Jessica.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You're sounding very
Better
breathy.
than the sound of lots of people at LBC, from the sound of it.
Oh, are a lot of people falling down dead over here?
Well, they're either sick or skiving, I don't know. I'm not going to make a judgment on that.
Oh, go on, why don't you?
Well, Clive did say he had a cold.
Yeah, that's the... You have to set yourself up for that sort of thing. You can't just call in 5 minutes before you go on the air and say, oh, sorry about that, I'm feeling a bit dicky. You have to, like the day before, you say, oh, you know what, I'm feeling really quiet. I wonder if I'll be able to do tomorrow's show, he says, busily logging onto Expedia.com and booking a weekend in Brussels.
Well, everyone needs to take a sickie now and then.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, it's good for the soul.
Nick, did you hear about the mastermind guy today?
No, I did not.
Okay, let me fill you in. This guy, he's got a mastermind. He's a genuine contestant. And his specialist subject was Jim Carrey films. And he only got 1 point.
He went on... They allowed someone on Mastermind whose specialist subject was Jim Carrey films.
They're dumbing down.
Aren't they ever? Yeah. Who does that show now? It's not Magnus.
No, it's John Humphries.
Oh.
I'm sure he was delighted to be asking him Jim Carrey kind of questions, but this guy only got 1 point. I mean, that's just embarrassing, isn't it?
Yes.
Don't you think in that situation you would rather get 0 points than 1 point? Because then at least you could say, look, I got 0 points. It all went pear-shaped. But 1 point, how are you supposed to react to that?
There's a certain sitting at the back of the class bravado about getting 0 points, but just getting 1 point implies that you were trying. Yeah.
Or that you didn't try enough, because this guy apparently, he's quite intelligent.
Right.
It said in the paper that he'd been on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and won £250,000 pounds. But on his specialist subject, he just got the 1 point.
I'm amazed that...
Jim Carrey movies, how difficult can that be?
Well, the problem is that you'd have to actually sit through Jim Carrey movies.
Well, I think that's what he didn't do.
Right.
That's why he got the 1 point.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
But it's the kind of thing where I'm not sure if it's really awful or if it's quite funny.
Have they broadcast this yet?
No, not yet, I don't think, but I'm sure they will, because that kind of thing is interesting, isn't it? When you see someone, you know, it's like there, but for the grace of God go I. I mean, I wouldn't be stupid enough to go on Mastermind, but...
Well, I wouldn't be intelligent enough to go on Mastermind.
You wouldn't?
No.
Okay. Well, I think it's... I mean, there are celebrity masterminds, aren't there, you know?
Well, I'm neither clever enough nor a celebrity, nor celebrated enough.
Ian Lee went on a celebrity mastermind and won.
Well, he's a giant brain. No, it wasn't Mastermind. It was 15 to 1, or whatever they call that thing.
I don't know.
The one with the lady who's fashioned herself as the quiz bitch. Pardon?
Yeah, I don't know. If it was me and I just knew that I was only going to get 1 point, even if I knew the answer, I'd just pass on it, because I'd rather have 0.
But that's just such a weak subject. Other people have gone to the library, or the equivalent these days, which is sitting at home in your squalor of your own flat and looking up the internet, and they've learnt vast tomes on things like the Plantagenets and you know, the properties of lungs and things like that.
Well, really,
and this bloke just got a large bag of popcorn and a box of ice cream and sat there and watched Jim Carrey movies. That's just weak.
He's paying the price now, because how can you live with only getting 1 point on Mastermind? I mean, actually, it should be called sort of Master Memory, because that's what it is. It's
exactly, yeah. But Mastermind is not the most difficult quiz show on TV. That has to go to University Challenge. Now, Mastermind, I can occasionally I can go through a show and maybe get 3 or 4 right in the general knowledge
I'm not sure this guy got 0 on general knowledge. I think he got a few points on the general knowledge.
Right, well, good for him.
Specialist subject that he's supposed to have studied.
Yeah, weak.
1 point.
And all you're doing when you're studying it is watching TV.
Yeah, I think he probably just went blank. It's one of those moments where just everything goes. I think from the beginning it was
caused by watching too many Jim Carrey movies, yeah. Well, listen, thanks for the bad news, Jessica.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
All right, I love your name, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.
Always makes me think of the rabbit in that movie, you know.
What movie?
Oh, you know.
So, what movie?
Yeah, the movie with the rabbit, you know.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, yeah. Jessica, yeah, Jessica.
All right, then, well, it's been nice talking to you.
All right, cheers, Jessica.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know what, what are you laughing at, Lucy? You know what?
Say that name again?
Jessica. Well, that's how he pronounced it. That's what Roger Rabbit pronounced Jessica.
Very good.
Yeah, you know what noise a rabbit makes, don't you? What noise does a rabbit make, by the way?
Bzz. Hump, hump. No.
Hump, hump? Was that you being rude?
They're always humping.
Oh, no.
I know, I don't know why.
I do apologise for Lucy. Normally she's on Saturday night when she can get away with that kind of material. Not that I would, but
Sorry,
she can.
I don't know what.
Because she's a lady. Right. Let's have number withheld. Who's that? Have I punched up the wrong one? Oh, don't go for the blue. All right, we'll take him back then.
Okay.
And I'll go with... you go for the ones that are green, right?
Yeah, the one I've written.
Almost as though I haven't done this before. Hello, Martin.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Leighton, eh?
Buzzard, eh?
Leighton Buzzard, right.
Yes, not the Leighton in East London.
Oh, right. Oh, well, you wouldn't want to associate with that lot, would you?
Well, I used to live there before I went to the other Leighton.
Well, you've certainly come up in the world.
Yes, I have. Anyway.
Yes.
I had pizza for Christmas dinner last week, yeah?
You had pizza for Christmas in the last... Yeah, well, good for you, mate. Did you order it, or did you make it?
I made it, and it was deep pan, crisp and even.
And did you make the actual crust? That's a no.
No.
That's not making pizza, as I've found to my pleasure. Because I used to get that. First of all, I used to go to the supermarket and buy one of those ready-made pizzas and scrape the top off and then put my own stuff on it. Isn't that ridiculous? You used to spend about £4.50 getting a pizza in a box from a supermarket and then take all their rubbish off, because I don't, it's just rubbish they put on there. And so I spent £4.50 on a flat piece of bread. Now that is just flat out stupid. That's why I would never get on Mastermind, because I'm stupid. And then I went to, they have these pizza dough mixes in a box, and I used that for years. And every time it would come out that it would be soggy and messy and blech. And for years I would do the same thing every week, and every week I'd be disappointed. This is what a slow learner I am. And so eventually I thought, well, you know what, I should make it myself. And it turns out to be absolutely delicious. So you want to try that, mate?
I should, shouldn't I?
Yeah, do it.
I can't do it. I haven't got the time, though.
Haven't got the time?
No.
What do you do?
I'm a London taxi driver.
And how many hours do you work a day?
Enough.
Eh?
Pardon?
How many hours do you work a day?
About 12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay, answer me this.
Yeah, go on then.
Those cabs, what type do you drive? The square one or the round one?
Round one.
The round one.
Round one.
Are they easy to drive?
Oh, yeah.
Are they comfortable and ergonomic, and there's nothing wrong with them? That's a no, isn't it?
There's a lot wrong with them. They're damn expensive.
I heard that they were awful to drive. And that was the reason why all you cabbies are in a bad mood all the time.
I'm never in a bad mood.
Yeah, like I said, that's the reason you're always in such a great mood all the time, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I heard that they were just dreadful to drive. It was Jeremy Clarkson said that, and he knows a thing or two about cars.
Oh, I like them.
Well, yeah, but...
They're no different.
Do you actually drive other cars? I would think after 12 hours a day in a seat, that's the last thing you'd want to do.
I've got a Kia at home.
A Kia? Time was when a Kia was a thing you bought at the cinema.
Okay, Eora.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's Korean 7-seater. They're nice, they are.
Are they?
Oh, I wish I could drive them as a cab.
Well, you want to become one of those mini-cab drivers. They're very good, aren't they?
The mini-cab drivers?
Yeah.
Oh, they're part of London life now. They're an institution.
Blimey, this is a black cab driver saying positive thing about a minicab driver. Let's hold the phone and reset the front page.
Oh, they're wonderful minicab
I thought you lot were at war with each other.
Oh, no, I love minicab drivers.
You do not.
Oh, I do. They're a cultural institution to this great country of ours.
Have you been drinking, Martin?
If it wasn't for minicab drivers, the A to Z would go out of business.
Well, that's very true, yeah. Those are the ones that are buying all those satellite navigation aids. Yeah, whatever they're called. Sat-navs. That's what they're called. I think I've dropped several IQ just this afternoon. I'm amazing myself at my stupidity this evening.
I know, but keep it up. You're doing very well.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, take care, Nick.
All right, cheers, mate. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Okay, this is LBC 97.3. Clive is very suspiciously, at the end of his working week, called in sick. Now, what time today did he call in sick, by the way? And how many people did they go through before asking me to do it?
You were the first.
Right.
And he called in sick about 2 minutes before I rang you?
2 minutes before you rang me.
Yeah.
Right. And you rang me about 3 minutes before we went on the air. So, like I said, everyone's thinking, And so he's back on Monday night, though.
Yeah.
Right. And if he comes in tanned...
then we know he's been off to a salon.
Exactly.
I'm the chairman of Galliard Homes, and 7-3.
Tina!
Hello.
Hello, Tina. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're in poshest Epsom, but you know that.
Oh, I'm not posh.
Well, you might not be posh, but everyone surrounding you is.
The area's nice, but I'm not posh.
Everyone surrounding you is going, oh, when is that awful woman going to move out?
I just want to ask you...
Yes.
Have you ever, when you've been in a restaurant or anywhere, you've heard a conversation that you really want to butt into, and you've got it completely wrong when you've listened to somebody else's conversation?
I haven't, Tina, but I bet you have.
No, it wasn't me, actually.
Oh.
When I met my husband, he had this big boxer dog, and it was really big and fat, and it used to dribble. And we went, like, we was together for about a year, and we decided we were going to get married, and I had 3 small boys at the time. And we were sitting in a restaurant one night, and we was discussing this dog. And I said to him, so have you made up your mind what you're going to do with her yet? Because, you know, you've got to make the choice, it's her or me.
Oh.
I can't have her come and live with us, because the boys don't like her. She dribbles, fat, and she eats us, she eats everything in sight. You've really got to make up your mind what you're going to do. She could go and live with one of your sisters.
Oh, right, it's not, you weren't insisting you had it put down, right?
No, she can live with one of your sisters. They've got big houses, they could take her, she just can't come to live with us.
Huh.
And he said, but I love her. And I said, well, I know, but, I'm not going to stop you visiting her. You can put her in a home, you can do anything, but she can't come and live with us.
That's very strict, Tina.
No, but I couldn't, because I had 3 young boys, and this was this big dog, But anyway,
Plus, they're kind of ugly, let's face it.
I know, but it used to dribble everywhere. It used to eat anything. It would eat a bar of soap, anything it would eat. But we were just discussing this dog.
I like dogs, though. I mean, it's nice for me to meet something that's even stupider than me.
No, but you've got to listen to this, right? This woman just leant across the table and she said to me, you should be ashamed of yourself. How would you feel if the boot was on the other foot? She said, how would you like your mother to have to go into a home? And I said, excuse me? She said, well, he obviously loves his mum and you're making him choose between you and his mother. And I said, we're actually talking about his dog.
I think that these tables were too close together, right? I mean, what kind of a restaurant was it? Were you shouting this conversation or what? Were you standing up and, like, bellowing at each other?
These small restaurants, and then you sort of get these... There was, like, 6 women just sitting on this table, obviously having a night out, but they've just sort of eavesdropped, and they all went quiet listening to our conversation. And they really thought we were talking... I was demanding that he puts his mother in a home or send her somewhere else, and they didn't realise it was the dog.
So did you do the modern thing, Tina? Did you stab her?
No, I just said to her, you should have been listening to our conversation for a start, but you've got it completely wrong, but we just see the funny side of it. And I'm just wondering if anyone else has just, like, listened in and got it totally wrong.
I'm outraged on your behalf. How dare she? So where is your mother, by the way? Don't answer that question.
My mum, do you know what? I've just moved my mum from Crystal Palace to Epsom.
Right, was she blindfolded at the time, was she?
No, I just wanted to move her near me to look after her. See, I'm not horrible. I wouldn't have a dog, but I will put up with my mum.
Right. But that's where you draw your line.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the best of luck to you and your mother. She'll need it.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, Tina. Hey, did you know the Sun said sorry to the Take That manager? Did you read this? Do we get the papers? What time do tomorrow's papers come in?
Hopefully about 11ish.
Really?
Hopefully.
Okay, good.
I'll keep a watchful eye out.
Right, well, if there's anything on the front page of the Sun, remind me not to read it, because it might not be true. The Sun has apologised and paid compensation to the former manager of Take That for printing allegations that he either stole the band's tour profits or failed to make any money for them. Did you read the story when it first came out? It was virtually a double-page spread. They were sucking up to Robbie Williams, right? There's apparently some track on his new album that they were having legal problems with.
Oh dear.
And the Sun took it upon themselves to virtually print the lyrics. To print the lyrics that they were having legal problems with, which was,
How sweet of them.
Yeah, I know. It goes on. The first piece alleged that Nigel Martin-Smith, who used to manage Take That, either stole the profits from a European tour or incompetently failed to make any and lied to the band when asked about it. The Sun said in a statement published in the paper. In fact, there is absolutely no truth in these allegations. The European tour did make money, the band were paid, and the accounts were scrutinised. What an excellent word that is. I always want to pronounce it scrutinised. That sounds vaguely obscene, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So I'll just say it again then. Scrutinised. But it sounds Scottish more than anything else.
But it does when you say it.
Yeah, by accountants. They scrutinised it and found it to be unimpeachable. We sincerely apologise to Nigel Martin-Smith, says The Sun, for the distress caused by publishing these allegations and have agreed to pay him compensation. And this is what I got from the BBC website. The BBC helpfully printed a short, recent list of other things that The Sun has done. The Sun has said sorry to Terry Hatcher. The Sun has said sorry to Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney wins 100,000 in damages. Dead man's father alleges son stitch-up. Blair's father-in-law condemns Leo pictures. Son pays out for claiming woman helped murderers. Son and Rooney set for pre-World Cup battle. Police condemn son bomb stunt. Son pays out to MEP over false scam claims. And Son editor admits paying police officer. It's just gigantic list. And that's just... Well, admittedly, that's in the last 3 years, but... Even so, I mean, the paper whose favourite phrase is you couldn't make it up. Well, we couldn't, because they've made it up for us. Saved us the bother. Let's have Reigate. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
I just wanted to ring to say what a pleasure it was to hear your voice after all these years. The last time I heard it was 1994, the summer, when you had your evening show on Virgin.
Oh, without mentioning any other radio stations, that's good. Virgin, was it?
I think it was Virgin.
Right. You're urgent to tell me, yes.
and that was it, really. And also to apologise to you, because you gave me a holiday. I won a competition to Ibiza.
What?
Yeah.
Ibiza?
Yeah, Club Med in Ibiza. I don't know, do you remember the competition?
No, I don't, no.
Yeah, I had to tell you a funny story, and you found it reasonably amusing and gave me a free holiday, so...
That doesn't sound like me at all. That must have been, I can't have just, thought that up and done it. It must have been some kind of promotion that we had, right?
I don't know, yeah, I guess it was. It was for Club Med, but it was great.
Oh, well, that would have been it then. Club Med. Boy, they really are getting their money's worth, aren't they? How was it, by the way?
It was all right. It was great. Thanks very much.
That's all right. On behalf of LBC, I'd like to say that that's okay.
But it's a long time ago now, and I'm kind of married with 2 kids. So
oh, right. So staying up till the afternoon is not your thing anymore.
No. And you've really mellowed in the years, I think, having listened to your show this
Well, I'm 186 years old now. What do you expect?
You're a lot more kinder to your callers.
Yeah, well, you've got to be. When in those days, I was talking to teenagers, and they were up for a fight, basically.
Oh, that really used to irritate you when you used to do your quickfire round, didn't it?
Screenless.
Sorry?
Well, I called it screenless. Well, without taking calls, without having them screened.
A little bit like Ian Lee does now.
Yeah.
You used to do 30 minutes and people used to ring up with cartoon tunes and
all of that jazz, yeah. I know. I enjoyed it for a little while, but then after a while I just couldn't stand it anymore.
What happened at Virgin, by the way?
They insisted that I left.
Right.
We had a meeting, and they said, yes, you know what? Get out, they said.
Right.
In fact, they said that twice. The first time, when they fired the guy that fired me, they had me back.
Really?
So I'm waiting.
Are you, and you do a regular show on LBC now?
I do, Saturday nights, 10 till 1, with the current team that's through the glass, who's come in special.
Right, lovely. I shall look forward to listening to you.
I shall look forward to you listening.
All right, and it's lovely to see you again.
All right, cheers, Dan.
Cheers, bye.
Ta-ta, all these old friends from times gone by. It's a shame that Virgin isn't on the air anymore. Let's go with Thamesmead. Hello, Bob.
Good evening, Nick.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I heard on another show this afternoon that you were going to be on tonight, so I just had to call you.
Of course.
We used to talk a lot, and again, going back 98, 99, something like that, we used to chat quite a bit. But, and you're the sort of person to put this point to, I think.
I doubt it.
Sorry?
I doubt it, but go on.
Well, you've got a more free-ranging mind, I think, than a lot of people.
It's organic.
I've got a problem with this current Champions League format that's been going on for a few years now. Because, of course, it's not the Champions League. It's the champions and the second,
and the runners-up,
place guys. Well, even down to fourth place, you know. I mean, here, the English, we've got four teams in there, you know.
Yeah, well, I suppose that if they only had the actual champions, then it would all be over in about 2 weeks, wouldn't it?
But well, you see, that's the point. But then it would really be the Champions League, and I think it's something maybe for what do you call that standards body that you can complain to it when a product's described wrongly. I think they should rename it the Champions in the second, third, and fourth place guys league.
Yeah, the First Losers League, yeah.
And something like that, yeah, you know, to be honest at least. Do you think I've got a case?
I think you're being very picky, Bob.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes the team that actually wins the championship is not necessarily the most exciting team to watch.
That's true.
So it would, and the most exciting team to watch is often in the top 4. So I think that, you know, I'm all for it. I'm all for more football on TV.
You're all for more football on TV?
Yeah.
Well, that's a pity, Nick. Because I'm all for more honesty. That's what I'm for. I don't mind the football. I watch it every night if it was on something decent. In fact, do you know what I watched a couple of weeks ago, Nick?
Yes.
I watched the Eintracht Frankfurt Real Madrid thing. The whole game. I've never seen it before. What a football match that was.
Oh, I missed that.
That was a real football match.
I don't get the full package from my satellite provider anymore because there aren't enough hours in the day to watch the small package that I get now.
Can I say what channel I saw that on?
Right.
I'll give the number.
Go on.
Only the number.
Yes.
Channel number 442. If you have the package, you know, the Sky Sports and the news and the.
Wait a minute. Did you just say 442 in order to not say Sky Sports?
No, it's not Sky Sports. It's not them. It's another mob. But it's not Sky Sports, it's another mob. And they do this
Channel 442, who's that then?
Can I say it?
Please do.
It's ESPN's classic sports. They show old rugby, old cricket, old football. They've even got old Ken Walton's old wrestling stuff on there.
Like there isn't...
Yeah.
Like there isn't enough new sport to keep up with. You're watching sport that's already been and gone.
You know, in my memory recently, the nearest game to this Eintracht Frankfurt Real Madrid final, it was the Real Madrid-Man United game at Old Trafford of 3-4 years ago, whatever, where Ronaldo scored the hat-trick.
Well, I do remember that, yeah.
Game.
Marvellous, yeah.
But if you saw that and you saw Eintracht Frankfurt Real Madrid, you'd go and watch that. I mean, Real Madrid are winning something like 5-2 or 6-2.
Oh, don't tell us.
you know.
And right at the end, Bambi's mother gets shot. Yeah. Okay, listen, Bob. It's been an absolute pleasure, but I had to go because you know we've got actual new travel. We could do like last week's travel.
Okay.
The travel's greatest hits.
Call me back if you do last week's travel.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Ta-ta. It's a stroll down memory lane with Bob. This is LBC 97.3. It's 8:45. Travel with Richard Hackier.
This is tonight's travel, I promise you. Yeah, Hackier, no problem.
Sorry, mate.
No, that's all right. A20 crawling out of town from Eltham to the M.
It's a good idea to get someone else's opinion.
Hey, Andy.
Hi there, Nick. How are you?
I'm all right. Poplar Doc, eh?
Aye.
Has it been yuppified?
Well, the surroundings certainly are.
They normally go from the river back.
But sort of in the middle of it, there's a boat basin. We've got about 90 boats, and most of them people live on.
Well, that would sound delightful from the balcony of an executive flatlet.
There's plenty of them around here.
Yes. So, what's up?
But no, it's great. We have a fantastic little community here.
You do? A community? Well, there aren't many of those left, really. And what, you mean you can say hello to your neighbour, that sort of thing?
Yes. Then I know, as opposed to pretty much everywhere else I've lived since I've moved down here, I know probably half the people that live here.
What kind of, paint a picture of what sort of architecture is there, and how do people live?
There's lots of different boats ranging from sort of 80 foot long and about 20 foot long.
Okay, hang on a minute. So you live on a boat?
I live on a boat, yes.
Oh, well, that's different. See, boat people, they're a law unto themselves, like pirates, right? But people who live on land, house people, they sort of come and go, and you don't know your neighbour. You could live 10 years and not say hello to the person who lives next door. But boat people, there's I get that. There's a sort of community there because you're battling against the elements and against landlubbers, right? That's about it, isn't it?
Well, I suppose kind of.
So what's the boat like? I mean, how wide is the boat that you live on?
It's 10.5 foot wide.
See, now, already, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? That's considerably thinner than most houses. 10.5 foot.
10.5 foot. It's 40 foot long.
So, there's not really room for a corridor, so it's just one room after the next, right? So to get to the bedroom, you've got to go through every other room on the boat, am I right?
No, you come in at the back, you come in, part way along the back of the boat, and then as you come in, if you turn left, you go straight into the bedroom.
Right, but 10 foot wide, see, corridors would be 3 foot, which means that if you got a corridor, then the rooms would only be 7 foot wide, so you got no corridor.
Oh, no, there is no corridor, no.
Yeah, right.
You come into the wheelhouse, and then if you go out to the back of the wheelhouse, is straight into the bedroom, and then if you go out at the front of the wheelhouse, is into the lounge, and then at the front of the lounge is the galley.
And does the water go in and out with the tide?
Not in the marina, no.
Right, okay. Was that a stupid question?
No, there is some boats. There's some boats on the tidal Thames, and they when the tide goes out, they sit on the mud, and when the tide comes in, they come back up again. Normally with quite a big sort of.
Yeah. How do when the water goes out with these boats? Because I've often wondered this. How do they stay level?
Well, they're flat bottoms. There's different types of boat. They're not all pointy at the bottom.
Right, but even if they're flat bottoms, the river bed isn't flat.
Well, they where they've got boats like that, they normally put old car tyres down.
Right.
So when they come down, they sit on the tyres, and that takes out the unevenness.
But that would imply that there's a definite predictability about the angle of the riverbed, right? But there isn't. So you'd think that sometimes the water would go out and the boat would be at such an angle that you'd roll out of bed and out the window.
No, it always stays. I mean, the Thames, although it's tidal, it's the bed of the Thames never really changes that much.
Is that true? I find that hard to believe.
It's quite soft.
Huh. And when you're on land,
you wouldn't walk out on it when the tide's out because you'd probably start sinking.
Yeah.
In parts, yeah.
Up to your neck in all sorts. Yeah.
Well, it's very, very clean now.
Yeah, right.
At one time, you definitely wouldn't have wanted to go anywhere near it. But,
have you ever seen an otter?
I haven't seen an otter yet. No.
I'll get to that story in a minute. Apparently, one's been sighted in the Thames.
I've read that story, yes. There's certainly a lot more bird life than there used to be.
And just one final question before we get to... you've been on, what, 3 hours now, and we haven't, haven't actually heard for what you called in about. But when you're on land, having lived on a boat all the time, does it still feel as though you're rocking, as though on water?
It can do, yes. I'd say when you're in the marina, it's locked, so the water level stays very level, and the boat doesn't... It sways slightly side to side with the wind, but that's about it. If you go out on the Thames, or when I go out on the boat and you're out on the boat for a while, when you do step onto land, you do get the opposite, and it feels like the land is moving when you've got used to the boat moving.
Right. So you live in... it's not a permanently berthed boat. It's like a wet caravan, in fact.
Effectively, yeah.
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 We've got a bloke who lives in a wet caravan over here, Luce. Can you believe it?
Do you feel a bit damp all the time, Andy?
No.
No? I think I'd feel a bit kind of... I don't know, worried I'd smell of kind of damp clothes all the time.
No, they're very, very warm and cosy.
Give yourself a sniff, Andy. Right, so what was it that you were calling about?
Well, what it was when you were saying about the petrol being siphoned out the car. I mean, I remember in the 70s when we had the fuel crisis, there was very few cars then with locking petrol caps. And I remember my father had a Renault 6, which was one of those weird ones with the gear stick in the middle of the dashboard.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
And him going out along with many other people and buying locking petrol caps because there was a sudden space of everybody was having their petrol siphoned in the 70s.
Well, that's kind of understandable because there was a petrol shortage. And I can remember you used to have to queue up for hours before you could get petrol. And in fact, wasn't it if your number plate ended in a... even number, you got to get petrol on Tuesday, or was that in America?
That was in America.
Oh, right, I'm just remembering the news that I saw, yeah.
No, here it was, I think you were limited to getting something like, I think you could get no more than about 3 gallons at a time. And there was people were buying jerry cans and, spending probably most of the day going backwards and forwards to different petrol stations to fill up with petrol.
But only spending threepence halfpenny on the lot.
Yeah, only spending threepence halfpenny, yes. It was a slightly different story. I remember going into a garage when I had my Land Rover, it was an ex-military one, it had 2 petrol tanks. And I put about 60 quid's worth of petrol in, and I went in, and the guy behind the desk was laughing. And I said, "What's so funny?" He said, "There's one of my..." It was out in the middle of nowhere. He said, "There's one of my customers who's been coming in here for 20 years. And for 20 years, he's been putting £2 worth of petrol in his car. And he's never twigged that he now comes back sort of every 2 days, where it used to last him a week."
Okay.
It's one of those sort of...
Yeah, well, you had to be there, yeah.
Yeah, you had to be there.
Tell me, did you start in this boat in Liverpool and just sort of drifted down, or did you come here on purpose?
No, I moved to London 7.5 years ago, and I bought the boat 2 years ago.
Right. Well, happy sailing, Andy.
Thank you very much.
All right, cheers, mate.
Okay, bye.
Ta-ta. This is LBC.
Ode to Boobs. Hello, boys.
So do you want to hear about the otter now? Isn't that exciting? They found an otter in the Thames, Luce.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, I can tell you're just...
I thought I did quite good. Well, then.
Just thrilled.
I'm so excited.
Yes. Wildlife... hang on a minute. Hey, Philip.
Yes.
Mr. Lister, you called at a very bad time. I'm going to take you after the new news.
OK, Nick, no problem.
Right. Whatever it is you're going to talk about, put it down on a piece of paper, all right?
Yeah, I'll start writing there.
There you go. Wildlife experts were thrilled yesterday after the first... Did you see the Galapagos thing on the BBC?
No.
What?
Oh, well, I have to say, I'm quite out of touch after moving house, so you must forgive me for that.
Oh, right. Have you set your telly up yet?
Yes, we have now.
That was the second thing you did after the kettle, I bet.
I didn't, my husband did.
See, that's exactly what I was going to say. It was the first thing he did, right?
Yes. That really annoyed me as well.
Why? You got to keep plugged in, Lucy.
Because his first thing to worry about was where the TV was going to go.
Yes.
That is not a priority.
Well, it is, absolutely. Most of the time you'll spend slack-jawed gawping at the box, right?
We debated where to put the sofa, but he only decided that the sofa had to go somewhere according to where the TV was going to be placed.
Correct.
Wrong. Bad.
You should listen to your husband more. He sounds like a very nice man. Just as long as he doesn't come and beat you up for... No, there's nothing better than the TV, really. I mean, people say books and, you should get out more and go to the theatre, as Bruce Forsyth pronounces it. A man that's been in the theatre that long, you'd think that you'd say theatre more correctly. But anyway, back to the... Oh, I've got time for the otter thing.
Can we have the otter in a bit?
Yeah. Oh, you should have seen Galapagos. It was absolutely, positively the best thing that's been on the BBC for a dog's age. Apart from this really annoying voiceover, which is done by some actress, and they anthropomorphise animals.
That's a good word.
Yeah, look that one up. I wonder if I used that correctly. It's where they, they tell, they give human characteristics to animals, which they absolutely do not have.
FM.
Everything is going extremely well.
Lucy is frantically looking up anthropomorphize. We took about 10 minutes to try and figure out how to spell it. Said it out phonetically, and now you're failing.
More pies or more fies?
More More pies. Hey, that's a good idea.
Please.
Yes. Google it. Anthropomorphize. Go on, click one of those, dear. Hurry along. Quicker. Yes.
There we go.
Dictionary definition. Where is it? Attribution of human motivation, characteristics or behaviour of inanimate objects, animals or natural phenomena. Yay!
Yeah.
But they do that all the time, and, some bird, an actual bird, not like a woman bird, like a bird, will be bringing twigs back to the nest, and, sticking them in it. And the male bird will be sitting there going, go on, girl. And the voiceover will say, well, the female bird is bringing twigs back to the nest in order to further bond with the male bird. And I'm thinking, how do you know? It might just be doing it because its tiny little bird brain is telling it to do it. It's got no control over it. It's not doing it to bond with the other bird at all. It's just doing it because it has an urge to do it. It's urging.
Well...
I mean, well...
Well, you do... Well, we
yes.
do...
They're
I was
just
just
guessing.
thinking how we change.
Well, see, exactly. This got nothing to do with us as human beings. We would do that in order to bond. I'd bring a twig to your house in order to bond with you. Absolutely.
I'd turn you away. Take your twig back with you.
But that's what we would do, and we're not birds. Birds don't do things that we do. I mean, like pigeons. We are not pigeons. We don't mate for life, Lucy.
No. A pigeon got on my train this morning. I hated that.
Hey, I saw a pigeon in a post office this afternoon.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did it have one of those horrible feet where all the toes are kind of coming off and mauled and they hop?
Yeah, as did most of the people who were in the queue.
Oh.
The post office. Is there a more hideous shop in the high street than the post office? It is awful.
It's really depressing, isn't it?
Everything about it. You just want to... I'd rather set fire to my face than step into a post office again.
Oh dear, is that
hideous? I mean, they just need to bulldoze them. They're not these nice, cutesy post offices that people who live in villages that have got one pub are very upset about because they're going to have to travel by plane in order to cash in their pensions now.
The village I used to live by, I went there to post something and there was a horse parked outside. So I knew I was in the countryside.
A horse?
Sure. Yeah. That was the only customer.
Parked, was it?
Yeah, it was tied up right just outside.
Where was that? The Wild West?
Arizona. Dorset, that was.
Dorset? Mm-hmm. I've never heard such tell.
That's true, I tell you.
No, not those post offices, because they can be, they're run by actual proper people and, frequented by locals.
You mean like the ones in my neck of the
Inner
woods?
city, yeah. Horrible they are. I mean, they haven't been decorated since 1970. They look like they're in a time warp. Neither have they been cleaned since that era. And you can barely see the person through the glass, because... obviously, people throughout the day have been leaning closer to the glass in order to shout at the people behind the counter who aren't giving them whatever it is that they, have come in for. They aren't doubling their jobless allowance, or whatever it's called these days.
Don't you find as well there's always someone in the post office who's wearing slippers in the queue? There it is. There's always someone in slippers in mine.
Seriously, you need to vacate that area immediately.
I need to go to Dorset, where the horses are.
Yes.
That'd be much nicer.
Exactly. So, like I was saying, are you still there, Philip?
Yes, Nick, no problem.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, you keep Philip waiting so long.
They found an otter in the Thames. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Wildlife experts were thrilled yesterday after the first otter was found in the London stretch of the River Thames for 100 years. Hallelujah. It's hoped that there could be even more otters on London's riverbanks with the building of the 2012 Olympic Games Park. Oh, they're not going through with that, are they? I've driven near that. Seriously, it's got to be worse than where you live, Luce. No one wants to go there. No one will want to go there. They could build as many executive flatlets as they like over there, all of which won't have any cupboards or any room for, anyone more than an executive who doesn't have any friends or family to live in.
What they need to do is have a Waitrose. I find that brings an area up very nicely.
What, without mentioning any brand names? Waitrose, you say?
Yeah.
Not Tesco's, mind. Waitrose.
Well, that's not bad, but I do like a bit of Waitrose. We're going to have one soon in our area. Then I think they'll stop petrol siphoning.
I like going into Waitrose because there's never anyone in there.
And all the people at the tills are really nice to you.
Is Sainsbury's going out of business? I only asked that because I went to Sainsbury's this afternoon and there was nothing in there.
What do you mean?
Acres
Nothing?
of shelving with nothing on it. In fact, much of the chilled cabinets, they pulled the screens down because there was nothing in there.
Oh, maybe they were just waiting for the delivery. Well, that's not very helpful for you.
What?
So have you had no dinner now?
Are they supposed to fill shelves continuously?
Well, yes.
I mean, I was stunned walking around there. There's hardly anything in there.
Did you leave in disgust?
Well, there was a time, I think they sacked all their management. They brought new people in there. But about a year or so ago, I gave up. I left my trolley midway through and I thought, right, that's it, I'm leaving. Because there's nothing here. Everything that I go for is, first of all, they don't label anything by price. Are they advertising with us, by the way? If so, everything I just said is completely false. They are without doubt the best purveyor of quality foods this side of Fortnum and Mason.
Absolutely, I agree.
No, but there was a time I metaphorically and literally put down my basket and stomped out. I said, right, no blush tomatoes, I'm leaving, I said.
Oh, that must have really shown them.
Yeah, it did, yeah. They mended their ways shortly after. I think I wasn't the only one, because I think they did there was mass sackings all around.
You saw trolleys all over the place with nobody there.
Yeah, like, it was like in the Wild West town, where you saw that horse tied up to a post. Tumbleweeds were blowing through the aisles. And the doors were flapping in the breeze, yeah. But they sorted it out, and because for a very brief time there, I actually considered going to Tesco's.
Did you?
And then I remembered Shirley Porter. Turned hard on my heels and walked in the opposite direction. But yeah, you go to Waitrose and there's no one ever in there. And then they add up the items in your basket and you realise why. We better stop speaking about this, haven't we?
Let's stop.
We're going to be taken off the air. Anyway, the first otter was found in London for 100 years. Isn't that great?
No!
How long does it take to get through this ridiculously small story? About 20 minutes so far. Are you all right there, Philip?
Yeah, no problem.
It's hoped there could be even more otters on London's riverbanks with the building of the 2012 Olympic Games Park. Are they still going through with that? Oh, God. Mr. McLaren, who's that? Oh, he's from the Environment Agency. Oh, they're very good. Added the 200-acre Olympic Park as another opportunity to further enhance the environment and help our native species flourish. If we go early for the traffic, is he going to be there?
He might be.
I'll ask him. Live on there.
He might be just eating a pizza or something.
Hello, Richard, it's Alex, the R1. Yeah, he's there.
So, are we with the story so far?
Oh, yes, it's a very good story.
So they found an otter in the Thames. They hope that even more will come with the building of this 200-acre 200-hectare Olympic Park, which no one will want to go to. They're going to have to force people to go there. Like that nice woman who called earlier on and moved her mother from one location in London to the other by blindfolding her and putting her in the back of this van. That's what they're going to have to do to get people to go and live near the Olympic Park. Guess what? Guess how it was found, Lucy? That's right, dead.
Oh, why does that always happen? Every animal in the Thames dies.
Has it been eaten by a whale?
Oh, what was that little whale's name that died? Didn't
Willy
they call
or
it something? No, I don't think it
Original
wasn't
Willy.
called
Did
Willy.
they
that
call
one.
it something?
They always call the whales a name, don't they?
Isn't it just like the London
Humpy.
whale?
Humpy?
Who cares? It's dead.
That's not very nice. You're telling a story about a dead otter.
Environmentalists were excited at the return of an otter to the Thames, and it showed up dead. Isn't that great?
Oh.
It's 8:14. No, it isn't. It's 9:14. And now we'll have trouble with Richard Hakier.
Thanks very much. A20 crawling out of town at the moment from Elton.
Wondering what it's all about, and I can't tell you because I don't know myself.
It's Mr. Lister.
Oh, good evening, Nick.
How you doing?
Very well, and you?
Thanks for waiting. I'm
No problem,
fine.
very interested. I was interested in that guy you just had on who lives on a boat.
Oh, yes.
Before I get to my main point, I always remember there was a very, very funny film about people on the river, about barges and houseboats. 1964. Have you ever seen The Bargee?
I haven't.
It's Harry H. Corbett and Julia Foster.
Harry H. Corbett. He was the very posh bloke who played the Steptoe, yeah.
Yeah, and Ronnie Barker.
Did you ever hear him when he wasn't playing Steptoe?
I saw him in a marvellous film, Nick, called Cover Girl Killer.
That sounds awful.
Oh, no, it's regarded as a really good B film. And in it, Harry H. Corbett plays the mass murderer. And he wears bifocals, speaks with a really posh accent.
But he does speak. He's dead now, right?
Yeah, he's right. Yeah.
He's still dead, by the way.
Yes.
He used to speak in a very posh accent.
Yes.
Which kind of because most people knew him as the guy in Steptoe and Son, and then when they heard him adopting these airs and graces afterwards, it sort of grated a bit, didn't it?
He did, because he tried to speak posh, didn't he, in Steptoe and Son to his when he wanted to impress people with his father.
But that was poor posh. That wasn't posh.
Yeah, so that. But I think he was a great actor.
Well.
But the main reason I rang, Nick, is there a proper way to read a newspaper?
Yes.
Right. The reason I ask, I was listening to an audio book today by the American, I don't know what you call him, pundit, humorist. Have you heard of Andy Rooney?
Yes.
He's the guy at the end of the US 60 Minutes who does a sort of a view on what's going on in the world at that particular time.
He's got a funny sign-off, doesn't he? What is
it?
Yes,
they call it A Few Minutes with Andy Rooney, I think. I can't think if he's got a sign-off, but he's very... In it, he's saying that if a newspaper was a meal, he would be starting at the dessert.
Because you go from the back to the front.
Yeah.
There's just something about you that wants to turn the page in the wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, I think with me, I skim newspapers to start with to see if there's anything in there that I want to go back to. Make a mental note. Oh, yes, I'll go back to that later on.
You make a list.
Oh, stop it. I mean, different newspapers, different ways to, you read them. I mean, there's some newspapers you go for certain things.
Yeah, some you just throw straight in the bin, The Observer, for instance.
Oh, I've never read that. You keep recommending it, but I've never read it. And what's your favourite newspaper, Nick? I know you don't like The Observer. What's your favourite one?
Well, I'd have to favourite. I read two all the time, but only because I think that they cover all the bases of most of the people that would listen to whatever I do, and that's the Sun. You have to read the Sun, and the Telegraph.
Right. So
I know they're very right-wing, but I'm relatively left-wing, so we sort of meet in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Mirror and the Mail every day.
Why do you pick the Mirror?
Well, it's funny. Going right back to when I was a little boy, the first paper that ever came into our house was the Daily Mirror.
Right, printed on parchment, was it?
Oh, no, it's... And it's just that, that I just like to buy one paper of one persuasion, and I just enjoy reading them, and it's fun sometimes to read what one paper says, and then you go over to the other one, and you get, different points of view.
Yeah, or completely different facts on the same story, yeah.
There's one newspaper that you can get in the UK, which I buy occasionally, because I like to read about American sports, is USA Today. Have you ever read that?
Yeah, I have. There's nothing in it. It costs a fortune, and there's about 3 pages to it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that, Nick. I must admit, it's a much smaller version than what you get when you're in America. But I find it particularly interesting. Maybe it's because I buy it mainly for the American sports.
American sports?
Yeah.
What do you want to watch American sports? Watching them is bad enough.
Oh,
Reading
no, don't start
me into a coma.
My favourite American sport at the moment is getting really, really excited. Are you into baseball, Nick?
See, like I said, cricket's boring enough. Baseball?
Yeah.
Baseball is like cricket with the excitement taken out.
Oh.
How long does a baseball match last? About 3 days, right?
Oh, no. I mean, I think it's... But I'm biased. I think it's one... I'd put it on a par... it's very much like cricket, but more exciting.
Oh, you're not biased, you're balmy, mate.
Oh, dear. What's your favourite sport, Nick?
To watch?
Yes.
Football.
Football?
There is only one sport.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
What's Lucy's favourite sport?
Well, Lucy's a girl.
I know, but I mean...
I don't mean to be offensive when I say that.
No, I mean, what sport does she like watching on the television?
Tennis.
Tennis?
Oh, you see, like I said, that's such a girly thing to say. You can't be interested in tennis anymore.
Football's such a boy thing to say.
Well...
Isn't it?
But it's
boring.
No, it's not boring.
It is.
It's flat
posh.
out, isn't it? Yeah,
What's
that's
that
right.
got to do with it?
That's a posh person's sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tennis.
Oh, come on. I like watching the swimming as well.
Oh, no, I do find that boring.
Oh, no, I like that because I used to
Swimming?
swim. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier on, Nick, about post offices.
Well, hang on a minute. Let's
I'll beg
deal
your
with...
pardon,
Wait a minute. Let's
I'm
deal
sorry.
with this first.
Oh, what's Alex like watching then?
Swimming.
Yeah.
Well, Alex would like watching football, like a normal person, right?
Beach volleyball. lady.
I don't think... yeah, I think he'd prefer that to the football, really.
I went to baseball games when I lived in the States.
Oh, yes. What team did you support, Alex?
I didn't, but it was really boring. And I saw the Pittsburgh
Steelers. Pirates.
Penguins or something.
Yeah.
But they had to put fireworks in to liven it up.
Oh,
Like,
no.
every 20 minutes.
Oh, no. I think it's a really great sport. I mean...
They aren't. Okay, here's why American sports are really dull. It's because they're organised around television advertising. This is why American football, you get 10 seconds of action and then they stand around and talk... Wait a minute, then they still stand around and talk about it for 5 minutes, is because they've gone to the ads on TV.
No, baseball is... I agree with American football. American football is stop and start, and I find that very boring. But baseball is exciting. It's not all stop and start.
Terminal.
No, I tell you what, you watch...
It's like having a sport in an airport. Everywhere you look, there's a sign that says terminal.
Oh, no, I can't agree with you, Nick. I mean, it's really exciting at the moment. We're in the final stages of the playoffs, and then we go to the World Series. And I know that it's only Canada and the US, but still called the World Series. Can I just mention post offices?
Okay.
You mentioned I tell you, there's one post office that everybody sees every week, and I have never seen a customer use the post office. Coronation Street.
Well, you know what? I'm probably alone in this, but I've never watched Coronation Street.
Oh, wow. Oh, dear. What do you watch then, Nick?
Football.
Well, I don't get the Sky Sports now because, like I said before, there aren't enough hours in the day to watch all the other excellent TV that's on. So I just gave it up. It was just too expensive.
That guy that you were talking to earlier on who mentioned about...
He asked the question, but he's not remotely interested in
sorry,
the answers.
Nick, will you repeat the question? Will you repeat the question, please?
You want me to repeat your question?
No. I forgot what I...
See, he's not interested in my answer or his question.
I asked you what you watched on television.
Yeah, I know, and then you just...
I'm sorry, what do you watch, Nick? I apologise for being rude.
You're not in any way curious or interesting.
I am. What do you watch on television apart from football?
Well, I tell you what's great right now, and absolutely one of the best things that I've seen all year. And can you believe it's on ITV?
Yes.
Prime Suspect. Wasn't that stunningly good?
Yeah, I thought that had run its course, really.
Definitely not. No.
Have they got new writers, or is it still with
I've got no idea.
Into the Plant?
I guess it must be, yeah. It's her thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because, I mean, I do think they do tend with some series to drag them out. I mean, they just brought Cracker back, haven't they?
That's another thing I've never seen, because, you know, Robbie Williams... not Robbie Williams. Well, there's another bloke I can't stand. Robbie Coltrane.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting, all these, different things they try and present for us.
I suppose so. I mean, The Sopranos, just your typical good things. I've been trying to like Extras. I mean, I've been really trying to like it.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not funny.
I must be honest, I've never seen it. I've heard so much about it. Maybe I'll catch it on reruns. But what is the basic premise? What's it all about?
The basic premise is that it's a new type of comedy that's not funny. As though being embarrassed and squirming in your seat is good enough for to class it as a comedy. But you know what? It's not. When it says comedy, I want to be actually laughing.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that my favourite comedy series, the other one on one of our occasions, and you said you didn't like it or you hadn't seen it. The Scottish series, Still Game.
No, I haven't. Some Scottish series are absolutely brilliant, but they don't. Many of them they don't broadcast south of the border because they assume that we won't be able to understand what they're saying.
Well, this one, it took a while for it to be shown down here, and now when you go into the DVD shops, they've got them all on display. It's incredible. Well, I said to the guy, he said, "I've never heard of it." He said, "But people are coming in." He said, "And He said, I'm selling lots of them.
Did he actually say it like that? I've never heard of it, he goes.
Yeah, I mean, just very similar to that. Not exactly like that.
Right. Post offices.
I'm just saying about...
Oh, yeah, you've done that one already.
Done that. I've run out of this, Nick.
Have you? Well, it was only about, 3 hours you were on? That's incredible.
Yeah, anyway, I'll try and think of another list. But just one other thing. You talked about the birds.
See, I knew it hadn't finished.
About the birds and having human attribute, or whatever they call it. Perhaps Tallulah could phone up and tell us about her human budgie.
Oh. Let's hope so.
OK, Nick, all the best.
Ta-da. Where are we now? 27:41, out at 28:45. Are any of these really, really brief, or shall I fill? I'll fill. Hey, Lucy, get a load of this. An inquiry was demanded last night into how tourism chiefs were spending on an internet accommodation service which booked just over 400 hotel bookings this summer. Visit Britain, the national tourism agency, confirmed that public money had been spent on developing a new internet tool to boost online bookings for English hotels and B&Bs. But there was pressure on the agency last night to justify how much they spent after the service's performance was revealed in a parliamentary answer. The tourism minister disclosed that between April and August this summer, 428 bookings had resulted from the referrals from the England Net portal. Visit Britain spokesman insisted that the service had been fully operational only from last month, even though work began in 2002. So in other words, 4 years to get going, 428 bookings this year. Guess how much it cost? That's right, £10 million.
Galliard Homes announce another price. 973.
Well, let's get back to it.
So, I mean, don't you find that stunning? Hang on, I've just thrown that away. But this is what I was... this visitbritain.net thing. And I looked it up to see if the mayor had attached his name to it, because it seems like you travel the tube these days, and every governmental poster that's got anything to do with London has got his name all over it. Like, that seems to be his entire job, running around and putting his name on it. I wonder if they give him stickers. He just runs around, Mayor of London. Thanks for all the money. But his name wasn't on this. But isn't that incredible? 428 bookings this year. It took 4 years to get this thing going, and it cost us £10 million.
Did you have a look at the site?
I did. I think it's some sort of industry thing.
Any good?
I think it's not for us. It's
I
for,
see.
You know.
Oh, so it's purely industry.
So that's £23,000 per booking that we've paid to get people to come here. Isn't that amazing?
It's ridiculous.
They've got our money, and they're going to spend it. So let's go with Holland Park. Oh, this bloke will be posh. Daniel.
Hello.
Daniel, how are you?
Oh, I'm okay.
You don't sound okay. You sound depressed.
Well, no, it's just in general. I'm just a little bit fed up with the tube, I have to say.
The tube?
Yeah, in general.
Go on, then.
Well, no, it's just... Okay. Well, everyone's talking about climate change at the moment, and the fact that we shouldn't actually be using our cars. So, I use the tube, like every responsible citizen.
Yeah.
And the problem is that at the weekend I can't. Because where I live, from Marble Arch to West Ruislip or Ealing Broadway, the tube is closed every single weekend for change, for basically maintenance.
Yes.
Right? And this is, we were told, the reason we can't have a 24-hour tube is because they do essential maintenance through the night.
Right.
But apparently they don't just do it through the night anymore, they do it at the weekend. And soon I'm sure they're going to be doing it during the day. It just seems absolutely ridiculous. I can't actually use the tube near my house. And I can't get anywhere.
Yes, well, they're you know, like the mayor, they're working for London.
Well,
they're fixing it for your convenience, Daniel.
They're fixing it for my convenience. My convenience, fantastic. So in 6 months' time, I can go where I want to go. But in the meantime, it's at my inconvenience.
Yeah.
Every single weekend, because I work weekends as well, and I can't actually go anywhere. And also, but what's even worse is you may take the tube back to go as far as Marble Arch, and suddenly they say, no, it terminates here, you've got to get out, and then you've got to pay more to take a bus. And, I mean, this whole Oyster card thing as well.
I can't believe that it works, do you? I mean, you know, for a large computer system like that actually seems to work, I'm stunned. Because I organised...
I don't trust it. I just don't
Well,
trust
no,
it.
me either. I'm keeping a close tab on it, because I've now organised, on the net, as it was as simple as this, whenever my thing gets below £5, it adds 20 quid.
Really?
Isn't that incredible? It does it automatically, so it never runs out. I was stunned.
That is through direct debit, is it?
I assume so, yeah.
Yeah. I assume
it is, yeah, that's right.
I assume you're actually paying, but the ridiculous thing is that it's this whole kind of, it's based on trust. Because if you think about the most people that would use Oyster cards, most people don't really enjoy travelling. They just do what they do. So they tap their Oyster card down and they just go through because they just want to travel. And it's tapped into the mentality that people don't want to think about it that much. So they don't actually think about what they're paying. So they might pay £30, say, into their Oyster card account and say, fine, that'll do. And they'll tap it in for a while and they'll suddenly go, you've got to pay more. And then they'll pay a little bit more. And they'll keep doing that. And I'll say, we're giving you the best possible deal. But how many people actually know they're getting the best possible deal? Because I just don't see that. I don't think people are actually in charge anymore of how much they're spending. I just think we're relying on them to say, yeah, you're getting a great deal.
I was hauled off the tube a little while ago by two people who announced, they came on the tube and they announced that we are, what was the phrase they used? Something really bizarre that sounded like they just made it up. We are financial controller operatives, or something like that. They were ticket inspectors is what they were. And they went down the thing and I proffered them my Oyster card because I'm an upstanding citizen and I always tap in and out. And they said, and they didn't give it me back. They said, right, you're getting off now.
What?
I couldn't believe it.
What basis?
Well, exactly. And I was outraged and red in the face as well, because they had embarrassed me in front of a tube full of people and I was on my way to work. How dare they?
Were you the only person with an Oyster card there?
And they took me off and they said, right, you haven't tapped in or out at some point in, your previous
in your life.
Yes, exactly. And I said, how, I went. Well, I didn't say how dare you because I don't have that much front unless I'm sitting on my own in a room with a microphone in front of me. And I said I sort of spluttered my innocence at them. And they said, please don't splutter on me, sir. It's very unhygienic.
Yeah.
And they said, we're going to give you a warning. And they wrote on my card with indelible ink, you have been warned.
You're kidding me.
They put the date on it. They abused Lucy's stunned. Close your mouth, dear, you might catch a fly.
I thought of a good solution. Just let it run out and just get a new one and put it in the bin.
Yeah, they charge you for it, don't they?
What, if you get a new card?
Yeah, you have to buy a new Oyster card each time.
You've got to buy a card.
Oh, well, it costs you a couple of pounds.
Well,
but then you have been warned on it.
Exactly. I'd do that. You're going to waste the money anyway on the underground. You might as well waste
I'm carrying around something with me all the time that brands me a criminal. Yeah. I have been warned.
Absolutely.
Couldn't believe it.
I'm going to look out for that card now. I'm going to look out for it amongst my fellow travellers.
I mean, I might as well have stenciled it right on my forehead. I just feel embarrassed wherever I go. I mean, imagine getting, if you were knocked down, for instance, and somebody found that on you. I mean, they wouldn't be calling in the ambulance or anything. Oh,
no, they wouldn't.
He's a ne'er-do-well, they'd say. Well, just leave him there.
Yeah.
Anyway, calm down, Daniel. Take a pill. We'll go and walk somewhere. Would you do that for me?
Oh, I do walk as much as I can, actually. I can rely on that.
Yes, that's right. Okay, cheers, mate.
Okay, thanks.
You should be driving your car because this weather is, could it be any more fantastic? Everything in the garden is rosy. Too rosy, says the Telegraph this afternoon. The lawn is still a fetching shade of green, the trees have yet to shed their leaves, butterflies are surfing the flower beds, and weeds are multiplying in front of our very eyes. And there's only 10 weeks to Christmas. Are you ready for Christmas?
I'm ready for pizza at Christmas.
Have you had your pizza?
Half of it.
Half of it?
It's a big one.
But the rest of it's going to be cold, right?
I'll have it for lunch tomorrow.
Oh.
I thought ahead, unlike Lucy, who just stuffed her piggy face with it, the whole thing tonight.
You're going to keep it till tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, that's hideous.
Why?
It'd just be a congealed, dry...
Well, I'm gonna heat it up again.
Oh, well, you should have said.
Right, I've got your number.
Anyway, yeah, this is the weather that's being caused, apparently, by everyone using aerosols and driving to work all the time. The longest summer since records began has sabotaged the English garden's natural appearance, causing havoc with plants, trees and wildlife. If I was a plant, I would be feeling a little dazed and confused, said Matthew Wilson, creator of the Royal Horticultural Society. They probably think that they've had autumn and that it's next year already. Maybe they think it's spring. It's total confusion. This summer apparently produced the longest unbroken period of hot weather since 1659, when records were first collected. A stifling July, oh, it was fantastic, wasn't it? Combined with a cooler August and a drought, combined with some very heavy late rainfall, has thrown many growing processes into confusion. If I was a plant, I would have expected August to be hotter than July, said this Mr. Wilson, who spends too much of his time imagining that he's a plant. So early on, some plants began to shed their leaves, thinking that it was autumn already, in August, because August was rubbish, right? So they thought, so they thought August was autumn, did plants, so they start shedding their leaves and closing up shop. And then September comes along, and it's been basking and sunny and lovely, and they think, oh, it's spring again, and they all start coming out. So they're really, really confused. We've had the warmest July on record, the warmest September on record, and may have the warmest October, with night temperatures around 10 degrees centigrade, and we're seeing spring flowers coming out now in autumn. So what are they going to do next spring, because they'll have shot their bolt already?
I don't know.
In flowering terms...
Have you got your heating on yet?
It will have been too early.
Oh.
No, not yet. I've got out my fleece.
Have you?
Yeah. Spring plants flowering at the moment is not necessarily a healthy occurrence, said this bloke. I don't think we know what damage it causes, but I don't think it will do the plant any good. Plants are being knocked out of kilter. See, on the surface, they look, all calm and blooming and healthy and ready to go. Mentally, plants are going... They don't know what's going on. Where are we? Oh, more trouble coming up? OK, let's first of all go with this one in Kenley. Hello, Tony.
Evening, sir.
Tony.
Have you ever stood in for Clive before?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we had a 20-minute rant about putting Blair right on Europe and immigrants, but anyway...
From me?
Oh, we did have a good rant.
From me?
Yeah.
No, that's not something I would do. Immigrants, I wouldn't even touch that.
Well, it was Europe. Basically, it was Europe. No, it was Europe more than anything else.
It must have been someone else, mate. That's not something that I would do.
As you mentioned in the last call, and I don't know why I hadn't heard the news. What was the verdict on Looney Livingston today?
Do you mean Ken, our great leader?
Our great leader, yes.
I think he came out with his without any besmirchment on his character.
Oh, there's a surprise. Well, it's all right. I mean, he can liken a Jew to a Jewish person to a concentration camp.
Right. Anyway, to your point, Tony.
Right to the point. Religion, slightly hypocritical. What I want to know, and have you ever wondered it? We see songs of praise, and the church is always full. How many people are in that church the following week?
Excellent question. Almost certainly none at all. and the people that are there will be property developers looking it over, thinking, "Well, we'll get 6 flats over here."
I mean, all the people, all reading the words, haven't got a clue. They have not got a clue about the hymns. You can see it. It's just, it's put on, but rant over. Well done, Spurs. Thank you very much.
All right, cheers, Tony.
All right, cheers, bye.
He just needs to vent every now and again, like a steam engine, you know. It's just unfortunate for us that this is the medium on which he's done it. We'll wipe ourselves down and come back after travel with Richard Hakier.
Still looking at delays on...
Hey, Carol's doing well, isn't she?
She sure is.
Yes, is there any chance of her calling this show?
No!
No, I didn't think so, no.
Not unless you've asked her to.
Yeah, even if she had, I think...
Booze.
will probably get in the way. Let's have Barnsley. Oh, Louise.
Hi, Nick, how are you?
I'm all right, dear.
Good. You were talking about post offices earlier on.
Yes.
And I so agree with you. The horrible places, they're always hot and smelly.
They are, and they don't look as though they've been cleaned ever.
No, and anyone who's ever been lucky enough not to go in a post office always thinks that they're nice buildings in the middle of villages, and they're just not. They're totally the opposite.
Well, I don't know, little village post offices, they're all right, because they're just in whatever architecture was there before they got there. But they're in the middle of towns, no, they're usually these brutalist concrete lumps that are hideous on the outside as much as they are in, yeah. Awful.
Yeah, usually...
How many other shows do you call up, by the way? Permanently on the phone, aren't you?
No, just you and Ian.
Oh, right.
but you're my favourite.
Of course.
I actually found out about Ian because of you.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you were covering shows, when Ian first started doing Triple M, you were covering shows, and people, well, I wasn't sure if you were going to be on a Saturday or a Sunday, so I put on Sunday and Ian was on.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I'm spreading the love.
Yeah. Right. Should be proud.
Yeah, I am, yeah. So what's life like in Barnsley, then? Must be really boring.
Yeah.
Beef are
Lots
boring.
of sheep.
Lots of sheep?
Yeah.
Right, well, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I'm reading this book and it's really boring as well. So I'm glad you're on tonight because, not that I don't like Clive, but you're keeping me safe.
I'm keeping you sane.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of moving out of Barnsley?
Oh, all the time.
I mean, seriously, it's, you know, I know nothing about Barnsley at all, but I imagine it's hideous. No offence to the people who live there, by the way.
There's some places that are hideous, but, like, there's lots of shops and pubs. That's all it is.
Is it hideous like Hull is hideous? Because,
it's not that bad. I have some friends from Hull.
Barnsley actually doesn't come on this list of the stupidest places in Britain. I wonder how people who live in Hull took this list of the stupidest places in Britain. Because this is a couple... Huh?
They couldn't read it.
Couldn't read it, yeah, you're right, yeah.
My friend lives there. She thinks it's hilarious. So.
But not only does it look awful, I think because I lived in Yorkshire for a little while, I lived in Leeds, which is okay.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that Leeds has got is the country that surrounds it, which is great. Yeah. You know, what's the posh place? Begins with H?
Harrogate.
Harrogate, yeah, that's right, with Betty's tea rooms, yeah. But Leeds itself is... Yeah. Hull, though, Hull has been named the stupidest place in Britain. It's also the poorest and cheapest to live, according to a survey by... Oh, wait a minute. This is a survey by Men's Health magazine. I thought it was a publication of repute. Men's Health magazine? That's the one that's on the cover. It's always got some bloke who's been airbrushed to within an inch of his life and looks like he's got a body made out of, like wood.
And he's always black and white. And you
Yeah.
never have a colour cover.
Right. Well, like ID, they're always winking.
This
Was
is the
that
same
a
bloke,
thing
I
with
think,
them?
every
Yeah,
month.
quite possibly, yeah. And the headline will be, get great abs and have more sex, or something like that. I thought that this was an august publication that had come up with this list. Men's Health. Anyway, the survey took into account factors like exam results, the number of residents who studied at university level, and performance in BBC IQ quiz Test the Nation. Oh come on. This list is stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, the survey lists, in order, Hull, Stoke, Liverpool. Liverpool is the... Liverpool is the International City of Culture this year. Then Bradford, which has got to be near you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of in the middle.
Then Glasgow, which I think is a little unfair, because Glasgow's a great town. Then Wolverhampton, Newcastle, Nottingham, Leicester, and Birmingham.
Yeah. I'm surprised Birmingham didn't come higher.
But not only are the people who live in Hull stupid, but they're also, I think, the fattest people in the country, aren't they? I mean, how must they be receiving this news? I wonder if the Hull Inquirer, or whatever paper they've got up there, probably got really big letters and really short words. I wonder how they received that news. Not only are our readers stupid, but they're also fat. Sorry about that, they'll say.
They probably didn't print it.
Yeah, quite possibly. I think the only thing that I saw in Hull, that they've got this regeneration campaign, which is not going very, very well. They came up with one thing, and I was talking about this on Saturday night. It was they've got an aquarium, but it's not called an aquarium, it's called an aquarium, or some bizarre word that they've come up with, that they found that it's the biggest in the world. It's a really crap aquarium, but it's the biggest aquarium in the world. Now, what constitutes an aquarium? And I'm making that up, but it's something like that. Yeah. What constitutes whatever they've called themselves? I have no idea. But they don't actually have any fish. They've just got TV cameras all over the place showing you pictures of fish. Oh, well, like one or two, you know, in a fish tank that wouldn't disgrace a teenager's bedroom.
It's kind of like Lucy's house now.
Yeah, right.
I heard that people in London don't just think that's what the entire of the north's like.
Yes, we do.
Stupid.
Yeah. I'm afraid so. Yeah.
But but not all like that.
Anything north of Edgware is completely off limits. Yeah.
Oh, well.
And you're not, you're doing your best to disprove us. Well done, Louise.
No, well, I always think people from London are intelligent, so...
Yeah, and we're thin, too.
Yeah.
And gorgeous, let's say it.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, Louise.
See ya.
Ta-da. If she passes the strict exam, she could come and live here, too. Let's have, Hi Wickham. Hello, Tim.
Hello, matey. Can I speak as a former resident of Liverpool? The reason we call it the City of Culture is because there's so much growing there. Songs of Praise.
Yes.
I used to be a musical director for Songs of Praise.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. And I'd just like to say to the chap you rang in earlier, yeah, they do know all the words because we actually had 3 full rehearsals and all the songbooks were sent out to the relevant singers well in advance, and they were, given a chance to rehearse. And then there were 3 full rehearsals, including a camera rehearsal, before the recording was made.
And how do they pack the church so comprehensively?
Well, the thing is that you actually pick specific churches, and if you think that in a parish there may be 2 or 3 churches, and actually they amalgamate the congregations for Songs of Praise.
Oh, they bus them in.
well, busting them in is probably being a little on the disingenuous side, really. But they sort of turn up. A lot of parishes, people interchange in churches. They have a lot of common social events, so people come from far and wide.
In buses.
Well, yeah, many cars actually. Depends. Well, in Liverpool, you wouldn't be a bus because it'd be up on bricks. But
See, this is a Liverpudlian saying that. He can get away with it.
Of course I can. Absolutely, yeah. I come from... Well, actually, I come from St Helens, which is just outside Liverpool.
Oh, much posher St Helens, yes.
No, it's not.
Oh, right, like I said. Even worse.
We got a good rugby team, but we used to say, St Helens, if the world had piles, then that's where they'd be.
Oh, nice.
And they ought to put a rope and red lights around St Helens and say a big sign that says, danger, hole in the world, or something.
See, this man used to work for the BBC, and he's dragging this show down. Can you believe it?
Well, I didn't work for the BBC. No, I was just a musical director who used to work for the Diocese of Liverpool.
Now, are you saying that you're a director who was musical?
A musical director.
Or a musical director.
Yeah,
right,
somebody who stands up and waves his arm about, in front of an orchestra and a mass congregation.
Yeah, like I said, a director who's musical.
Are you very sure you're not homosexual?
No, but I have lots of friends.
Who are, yeah. All right, thanks a lot. I'm afraid you called at a very bad time, but because I have to go because of the adverts are hard upon us.
No
but peace on you, my brother.
Cheers, mate.
Ta-da. This is LBC.
I'm the chairman of Galliard Homes.
Hey, Jethro.
Oh, hello.
Jethro, we're running out of time. Can I take you after the new news?
You can take me anytime you want, yeah.
That's very accommodating of him. Hey, you like Amy Winehouse there, Lucy? That just sounds like it would be right up your street.
Boring!
Not really. Amy Whitehouse, boozy singer Amy Whitehouse, belted a woman fan who criticised her performance after a gig. Well, she's sounding less and less boring with every word I speak. Tattooed Amy, who admits she's a nasty drunk, lashed out at the Proud Gallery in Camden in North London, mate. She said last night, this girl came up to me and said I was brilliant. 2 seconds later, she turned around to my boyfriend, pointed at me and said she, nasty word, did up. Fill in blank here.
Right, yeah.
Bleeped up. So, says Amy Winehouse, I punched her right in the face, which she wasn't expecting, she said, because because girls don't do that. Smoky-voiced Londoner Amy, 23, also admitted clobbering her boyfriend moments later. She said, my bloke Alex took me outside to calm me down. Calm down, he said. And I kneed him in the balls and punched him in the face too.
I know, I'm still smarting from it.
Brunette Amy, whose second album, Back to Black, is out this month, added, when I've been on the booze recently, it's turned me into a really nasty drunk. Amy, who got plastered on Charlotte Church's show, admits that she shed a lot of weight through boozing. The B-plan diet. And she says of her new tattoos of naked women, I like pin-up girls. I'm more of a boy than a girl. I'm not a lesbian, though. Not before a sambuca, anyway.
A what, Ben?
So we'll be hearing some Amy Winehouse right now, right? No?
No.
Oh.
On FM.
I don't know why that's funny. It just is. Madonna is going to prison. That's right. Madonna and Guy Ritchie could face criminal investigation over the way they brought David Bander to Britain. Failure to follow the correct procedures can mean an unlimited fine, which she can afford, or a year in jail, which she can't. The child would also be sent back to where it came from. Like, you know, if you bought something from M&S and you didn't like it, just take it back. They'd, receive it, no questions asked. Anastasia de Waal of Civitas, the think tank, said, "We need to know that British adoption law is being followed, otherwise it would give completely the wrong message that there is one law for celebrities and another for ordinary people," she said. Well, what country is she living in? Of course there's one law for celebrities and one law for ordinary people. I mean, George Michael's still driving around, isn't he? I mean, Pete Doherty's still walking around unimpeded. Of course there is. I mean, do you think that if I had been caught in a car, stopped at a traffic light for 3 times and crashed into other cars and, and looked like that, I'd still be driving? Very unlikely. I read a little while ago on one of these salacious gossip sites what might be going on there. But I bet not say, eh?
Best not.
Because I just thought, marijuana doesn't make you fall asleep at the lights, you know?
Want to score some pot?
Just doesn't. No, all studies would back me up on that one, I think. It doesn't make you narcoleptic. Just doesn't. So there must be something else going on there. Perhaps he's got a cold at the moment.
Yeah, he might just be tired.
Yeah, tired, right. Anyway, back to this. Back to Madonna and their little bye-bye. The key is whether the couple, if they followed British rather than US adoption rules, obtained a certificate of eligibility and suitability. The certificate comes from the Department of Education and Skills, but only after the adoption agency, in this case Westminster City Council, completed a series of checks on Madonna. Usual questioning by social workers takes in everything from a couple's sex life to their marital history. Recounting their sex lives. Well, in Madonna's case, I don't think we've got that long. Could be through university and out again before she'd finished. The adoption panel then has to approve the adoption. Adoption guidelines recommend no more than 45-year age gap between the child and the adoptive parent. Madonna's 48. And David Holmes of the British Association of Adoption and Fostering said, "It's a very complex process. You can't pick up a child like a parcel." Well, I mean, everyone's bellyaching about this and think, why doesn't he just give the money to the father and then he can look after his own child, they say. And, because we have this big thing about people who are successful in this country, we just can't stand it. Come on, what child doesn't want to be adopted by a fake Cockney geezer and a middle-aged pole dancer? It'll be a dream come true.
Yeah.
Here's Jethro.
Yeah,
who from now on, if you don't mind, I'll call you Mr. Syllables.
Mr. Sillyballs?
No. Syllables.
Oh, syllables, as in things that make up words?
Yes, as in, you never use one when 6 will do.
What, like anti-disestablishmentarianism?
Yeah, you never use one when you find another one hard to pronounce. Even if you can't pronounce it, you're going to say it anyway.
Pardon?
Even if you find difficulty in saying it, you're just going to blurt it out anyway.
Yeah.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yeah. I think it used to be the longest word in the dictionary. But I don't see any point in what was the point of the state paying me all that money to learn GCSE and A-level English if I don't actually employ some of the knowledge that I learned?
That's a good point. You should employ it on actually getting a job.
Yeah, but
how's that going, by the way?
Getting a job?
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm currently one of a statistic of the Department of Employment.
I think that's outrageous. I mean, is that because you show a lack of initiative? Because you don't show a lack of brain power?
I don't know. It's because I probably I'm just a webble at heart.
You sit around drinking extra strength lager and watching Trisha all day.
No, that's when I'm not working. When I'm talking about when I actually go out to work and then through some sort of dysfunctional reason or purpose, I don't actually integrate and harmonise with my working situation.
Really? Do you get sacked a lot?
No, I get told that I don't fit in. Somehow that I don't have a long-term future with the organisation.
Right. So you get sacked a lot.
No, I didn't say that, did I?
No, but I'm reading between the lines.
Well, I think it's very good for the character to get rejected many times because it sort of stiffens your backbone a little bit, you know?
Well, yeah, either that or it makes you just want to end it all.
Yeah, but I can't afford the rope, so just have to press on. I can't afford the rope on sort of like the social security provisions nowadays.
No, quite.
You know.
Man, how long has a bright boy like you been out of work then?
About 2 weeks now.
Oh, is that all?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry it's not longer.
Well, no, it's just that last week you said you said that you had been unemployed, and I just assumed that it had been for a long, long time. And what was the reason that they insisted on you leaving the last job?
God, you're exposing my soul on the airwaves of London here, aren't you?
You can just tell me to go stuff myself if you like.
I could. This is like a panorama investigation. I get paid a sort of check from the BBC after this.
No, I'm afraid not, no.
Oh, dear. No, I think they said, I remember it was, I'm afraid I'm going to have to let you go. It's a classic British apologetic sort of thing. It wasn't like, if it had been American, it would have been sort of like, hey, you son of B, you know.
You're fired.
Off of here because you're no good, you know.
Yeah.
But we have to go this stupid apologetic sort of British deferential thing. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to let you go.
I am very sorry that I screwed up. Totally I mean, I am so sorry. You just don't know how sorry I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did try that thing. I did try to become sort of highly sort of sycophantic and almost suicidal, but it didn't really work.
They'd made their mind up. You had to go.
Yeah.
And why? Why did you have to go? What were you doing?
Because I didn't cut the bacon. To use a meat metaphor.
Right. It was a butcher's shop, was it?
Well, no, I've been sacked from butcher shops. Yes, that was a long time ago. No, this is a production facility.
Production facility? Could you be any vaguer? What does that mean?
Well, I don't want to be specific because then people in my area might identify where I was and who I am. Right. I don't want that. I want the veil of secrecy to be hung around my, you know.
Hey, can you believe that they've invented something that's an invisibility blanket? Isn't that great?
Well, I saw that years and years ago. Saturday Cinema. It's called The Invisible Man.
Well, they've got it in Harry Potter as well, but now some boffin has actually come up with it. Isn't that fantastic?
What, in the real world?
Yeah, it makes you absolutely invisible, or something like that. I mean, I only half read the article, but that's pretty much what it said, yeah.
It's not someone getting inside a stealth bomber, is it?
No, it's not just invisible to radar, actually invisible to the naked eye. It means you can't see it anymore, because it bends light, or something like that. I've got no idea. But wouldn't that be great, to have one of those?
Well, it could be, of course, like all things, either used for the good or used for the bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking bad. How about you?
Yeah, well, if you're married and you kind of like, you know, you didn't want to go through with a divorce settlement or something, you wouldn't have to do that. Who was that British politician who disappeared on the beach? You wouldn't have to do that, would you?
No, you wouldn't. Lucan, yeah,
you wouldn't have to feign your own suicide. You could just disappear into ether.
Yeah.
You know, for long times, except from when you want a pint of Guinness or something. And
yeah.
Then you probably, how would you, wouldn't it, you know, when you ate and drank, wouldn't it sort of reveal, you know, your inner workings?
I would assume that anything that goes behind the blanket also becomes invisible.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
But you know what? This is by the by.
Yeah, because I was actually finding out about, can I abuse you? Because apparently...
Yes, please do. You've had enough abuse from me so far?
Yeah, because apparently the judgment on dear old Ken today is that the capacity to be abusive is an inherent part of free speech. So
yes.
Can I call you a cad and a bounder?
You just have.
Do you feel duly put down and affronted?
Not really, because they're such old-fashioned words. They just bounce right off me. They don't mean nothing at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to try anything stronger, just in case I get cut off. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, Ken's famous Oyster card. I can't quite understand why a socialist politician who's obviously concerned about materialistic egalitarianism would choose, was it a sea fish? Not a sea fish. Is what they're called. Fruit de la mer, as the French say, that was associated so much with high class elite, people and activities.
See, this is why I'm going to be calling you Mr. Syllables now. And as soon as you get into a word with more than 3 syllables, your brain seizes up like a cold car.
I have to think more carefully about that. Okay, yes. In other words, it's not common, is it? An oyster's not common.
And so neither are you, mate.
So why did he call it the eel and mash card, something like that.
The Oyster card. I've got no idea. I always come out with the avocado card because it never sticks in my mind. I can never remember what it's called. Because I half get to oyster, and then I think Ocado, and then I think avocado. No, that's not right. And then I don't know what to call it. Yes, that's an excellent question.
And I'm deeply affronted because I travelled through the great capital city of our nation last Friday and was, as always, just totally flabbergasted with the size of the buildings and the number of people that inhabit it, and seem to pass each other like ships in the night continually, you know. But when I try to get a bus from High Holborn down to what's the name of that big station that's named after the time we beat the French in Belgium? Oh, Waterloo. That's it. Waterloo, when, you know, what's his name triumphed over Napoleon. I got and I had to wait at the bus stop, and apparently you can't get on the bus with real money now. You have to either have this plastic thing called a Welk card, or you have to have a ticket. But the ticket is 50% more expensive than the Welk card price.
And which makes you think you're saving a tremendous amount of money with an Oyster card, but actually it's the wrong way around. You're actually being ripped off gigantically by buying tickets singly. Right,
because it gets highly complex. And I mean, you lost me there with blinding me with science.
Yeah,
but,
sure
but,
I did.
Do you remember those old days when you just used to get on the back of London buses, and the clippy would come up and just say, "What do you want?" I'll have a single to Faringay, please. And say, 1 and 6.
It were grand when we were a lad.
Why is everything becoming complex?
Why? How old are you?
21.
21? Oh, you're kidding.
All right, 22. I'm lying.
Oh my God, I'm embarrassed.
Can I play you a song? Can I just play you a song to go out with?
This is awful. 21 going on 86, mate.
Can I play you a song just to go out with?
A song?
Yeah, just a short one. Because this is a song called by Frank Crumit called "What Kind of Noise Annoys a Noister." Can I give you 20 seconds of it?
20 seconds.
Okay, ready?
There is really only just one thing I'd like to know. What kind of a noise annoys an oyster? No matter what I do, the answer won't come through.
Oh, no, we've run out of time on that call. This is LBC 97.3.
The home of... It's happening. It's wild. And it's now.
You know the Freedom of Information Act? That's going very well, isn't it? They're not actually giving any information out, but it's free. Free at the cost of paying for it. The House of Commons has refused to give details of how much each MP claims in travel expenses, despite 2 recent rulings from the Freedom of Information watchdog ordering politicians to open their books. This is just incredible. No, they're supposed to refuse to give out information if it's going to, compromise British security and all that jazz. But they're refusing to give out information on how much they charge us to, jolly up their own lifestyle, yeah. An order by the Scottish Freedom of Information Commissioner recently led to a huge drop in the amount that members of the Scottish Parliament claimed for travel and exposed abuse by 2 MSPs that led to one to quit and another to resign as Tory leader. So in other words, they were all on the fiddle, and when the public found out about it, when the information was revealed, they were all embarrassed enough into not spending quite so much of the Scottish people's money, right? And they don't want that down here. They want to continue their evil, nasty, grasping ways and not tell us how much of our money they're spending on themselves. And the Freedom of Information Act is just exactly the sort of thing that would want to, expose government corruption, and that's the last thing that they want to give any information about. It's just incredible. The Commons last week rejected an FOI request by Heather Brooke, author of the book Your Right to Know, and a leading campaigner against abuses of information laws that came into force last year. I mean, why bother? I mean, why go to all that trouble of having a Freedom of Information Act if you don't actually intend to ever give out any information?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just telling you one thing and then doing another, isn't it? She said this arrogant refusal to come clean about expenses gives Westminster MPs the dubious distinction of being some of the most secretive and unaccountable politicians in Western democracy. Isn't that embarrassing? Last month, the Speaker of the House became the first public official to use the veto provision contained in the Act to prevent this woman from finding out the names of people employed by MPs in Westminster. Now, why would he want to stop information like that coming out? It couldn't be, perhaps, because some of them may or may not be employing their own wives, could it? Openness and transparency are synonymous with good government, and in such a system, MPs would be even more careful, well, let's strike the word even out, shall we? Would be more careful about what they claimed if they knew the claims would be published. Correct. If you want to stop abuses, then you need to see the detailed claims. That's just absolutely shocking. What was surprising about this story was that in the Telegraph, we've had a lot of sackings recently. Have they just changed their editor again? There's a lot of problems over at the ship of the Daily Telegraph. And on page 12, they had this story, headlined, Commons refuses to detail MP's expenses. And the story started, the House of Commons has refused to give details of how much each MP claims in travel expenses, blah, blah, blah. That was on page 12. On page 13, they had a story with a headline, Commons refuses to detail MP's expenses, which started, the House of Commons has refused to give details of how much each MP claims in travel expenses despite 2 recent rulings. This is the first time I've ever seen this. A newspaper had 2 stories, the same, on separate pages, looking at each other. If you folded the paper in half, the 2 stories would be touching bellies. They had the same thing on page 12 as they had on page 13. That shows a lack of, well, joined-up thinking, for a start, doesn't it? I think they've got some serious issues. Oh, Tallulah.
Hello, you.
Hello, you.
I was very impressed when I heard about your pizza making.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's rarely that a male guy can do these bits and pieces.
A male guy? Well, that's not true at all. I mean, how many female chefs can you name? Angela Hartnett. Is that one?
No, I was talking about a male person that is not a chef, can do all these good, healthy thinking, let's say it this way.
Healthy thinking? I don't think that pizza comes under the under the category healthy food, really, does it? What depends what you put on it.
No, not when you buy it, but you realize after 10, 20 years that you can make it all yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seriously don't want to eat the rest of that pizza there, Alex? I mean it.
I'm geeling now.
Yeah, it must stink in there, right?
That's a lovely smell.
I've got used to it now, but it's pepperoni, so it's always a bit more pongy.
Oh.
All that dog meat. Ugh.
Is it refrigerated?
Nope.
No, it's just sitting there in a baking hot studio, and you're going to take it home and you're going to leave it out, and then tomorrow you're going to what? Nuke it probably.
I'll probably leave it in the boot of my car overnight. Yeah, take it from there. I'll probably forget it.
Oh. You should get the police in to take it away, otherwise you will be sick and off the work again, like all the other guys that go home with.
That's a good idea.
I'm starting to feel a bit dicky myself, by the way.
No, you're not.
I think it's got
you?
sick building syndrome. Yeah.
Oh, no.
My eyes are a bit red raw, and my throat's feels a bit tight.
Heart okay? Just checking.
Yeah, of course. I had a near-death experience a little while ago, and I'm on pills the size of horse droppings, which I have to take 50 times a day. But don't you worry about me. I'll be all right. So what's up with you, Tallulah?
Have you ever heard about the place called Chigwell?
Chigwell?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard much about it, but I've heard of it.
Well, for example, Tottenham training ground is up there, and loads of famous people live or hide up there. And nearby is a place called Bacastil, where I grew up when I came to England.
All those many years ago.
All these years ago. And
How long have you been here, by the way?
15 years.
15 years, and there's not a trace of an accent anymore.
Isn't it? I'm not sure if I take you serious there, because too many people ask me where I'm coming from.
Right.
But, you see, I'm just surprised. We were talking about Waitrose earlier and all these things. How in a circle of an area that's near northeast London, how different people go, how different places like Waitrose can be in this circle of an area, from plastic, as I call it there, like plastic faces, like, artificial, to really nice people where they are normal and cool and funny and...
Right, does anybody have any idea what this nice lady is talking about? No. So you want to start again?
Yeah, I mean, where I live a bit further down into to London, yeah? But the difference between where I go shopping here, where I live, and where I've been this afternoon in a place called Buckhurst 2 is so different.
It's called where?
Buckhurst 2, it's near Chickburn.
And spell it.
Buckhurst 2?
Yeah.
Buckhil. Buckhurst. Yeah, Buckhurst.
Buckhurst Still.
Hill.
Buckhurst Still. Oh, Buckhurst Hill.
Yes.
Buckhurst Hill. Okay, right, we got there in the end. Yeah.
So to go shopping there...
Yes, in Buckhurst Hill, yes.
So weird, while a bit further down, Woodford is a complete different cup of people.
Cup of people. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? I mean, once you get out of Buckhurst Hill, then everyone's changed, yeah.
Yeah, but how can be such a small distance can make such a big difference to the kind of people? That's my question.
Okay, well, we'll ask that, and we only want calls on that for the next hour and a half.
Oh, please, come on.
Whatever it is that woman just said, that's what we want calls on.
Have you never noticed something similar to that?
No.
Well...
Or yes, because London is, well, they keep saying that it's a city of villages, isn't it? And, you know, people that change from one road to the next. And I guess that's more or less true. Is it? Yeah, it is. I mean, where I live, if you go out of our road and turn left, then it's a hideous nightmare of, it's like you're in one giant post office. If you go and turn right, then it's like being in a French brasserie. It even smells better.
No, I think I can explain it already myself. I think
good.
I just reached...
Please don't. I mean, carry on.
I just reached Essex when I come to Buckhurst Hill, probably that's why.
Oh, Essex? Oh, well, you should have said, mate. Essex? Awful over in Essex. No offence to the people who live there, but... I mean, Southend's in Essex, innit?
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it is awful.
But then...
Oh, you're cracking up, dear. Hey, how's your parrot?
Yeah, cool. But I was in Southend once, and my then boyfriend wanted to show me all this fantastic seaside, and I nearly swam.
Yes. Yeah, you go down to Essex, and the sea's bran, and I don't like bran.
No, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you go on the pier?
Well, no, we just drove by because I refused to go up.
Well, you didn't miss anything because you go all the way to the end of the pier. End of the pier. It's the world's longest pier, or some such, and it's about 65 miles long. And you go all the way to the end, and there's nothing there, just surrounded by brown. Can you imagine anything worse?
I know it's a pier. When you've been to South End, you throw yourself into the water.
Yeah, that's right. It appears that there's nothing there. Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Thanks a lot, Tallulah. Best of luck to you and your bird. All right.
Rock and roll.
This is LBC 97.3. I'm Nick Abbott, in for Clive, who has suspiciously taken a day off at the beginning of his weekend.
Imagine if man landed on the moon, but had 9090973.
Right, so what are we doing?
After the Freedom of Information Act, the story that I gave you, isn't it incredible that we've actually managed to prize out some information about how much Tony has spent how much of our money that Tony has spent on hospitality? This is shocking. The cost of entertaining by Tony Blair at 10 Downing Street in Chequers almost doubled since Labour came to power in 1997. Next, a picture of Tony laughing his face off in the Daily Telegraph. Oh, the picture editors must have a good time at the papers. Because they just pick whatever, and, you know, it could have been Tony very seriously talking to Putin or one of these people. But no, he's laughing his face off with Sven-Göran Eriksson. And they look like they're blottoed. I mean, they've never been so happy. Guess how much they spent? Guess how much Tony spent of our money on his hospitality.
In how long?
In 1 year.
Oh God, I don't even know how to guess it.
£101,000.
Booze.
£101,000. Can you believe that?
It's not that much, really.
Oh, shut up.
Does that include?
I thought it was going to be a lot more.
Yeah,
than
actually, I thought it
That's
could
just
be more.
him, not the government. Just him.
His booze.
But does that include all his sort of entourage and security?
And John Prescott.
Or is that simply just for sort of nice lunches and dinners?
What? Suddenly I'm under investigation here.
I want to know.
The entire
I want to know
government.
the breakdown.
The entire government has spent in the last 5 years on wine £500,000.
Lucy spends that in the month.
Do be quiet.
Number 10 officials had tried to keep the list secret, saying confidentiality was needed because some guests could have been involved in policy development and analysis. Well, what's that got to do with it? We're just asking how much you spent, not who was it. Incredible. Try to keep it secret. This is your famous open government now. Last year, following a dogged campaign by Liberal Democrat MP Norman Lamb, a list of 300 people the Blairs had welcomed at Chequers was released on the orders of the Parliamentary Ombudsman, Anne Abram. These are some of the people that may have been involved in policy development and analysis. Elton John, Bono and Sting. This is shocking, isn't it? The list also features Prince Girolamo Strozzi Guicciardini.
One more time?
I couldn't. His wife and his daughters. This bloke, a bloke from whom the Blairs enjoyed 2 free holidays in his Tuscan villa.
Nice.
Huh. It was probably just a coincidence that he invited him over for, a canapé. So they've got our money and they're not giving it back. Here's one in Barnes. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Nick. How are you today?
I'm all right, thanks.
Excellent. I'm just calling to agree, really, with Tallulah, who called you earlier on.
Yes.
I'm sure a very nice lady, but mad large hair. Basically, there are areas of London which you only have to go around the corner, and the people are completely different, and I'd like to know why this is as well, really.
Well, go on, name some.
Well, I mean, for example, I live in Barnes, and that I have to very occasionally, and only when absolutely necessary, I have to sully my boots and go across the bridge to Hammersmith, which is not a pleasant experience.
Well, no, that's not going round the corner, is it? Because either side of the river is significantly different.
Oh, yes.
It's a barrier.
It is a barrier. It is. And it's a completely different matter. You go across into Hammersmith, and you are faced with members of the lower orders.
Oh, you certainly are, yeah. People live in Hammersmith. Hammersmith, yeah.
But you can walk equal distance the other way to Putney, and it's very pleasant.
Oh, it's a delight, yeah.
It is a delight.
But then you stray a little bit too far, and suddenly you're in Wandsworth.
Oh, you see, I don't mind Wandsworth. I think, as I was saying to your... to the lady who spoke to me on the phone earlier, I think that is an island of civility in a sea of awfulness.
Well, it depends where you go in Wandsworth. Wandsworth High Street's not that great.
No, it's not. You're right there. That's
Wandsworth Post Office is on Wandsworth High Street.
It is, and Wandsworth Police Station, which houses many undesirable individuals.
Is it the Arndale Centre in Wandsworth? What's it called? Not the Arndale Centre, that's in Birmingham, isn't it? Or Manchester, yeah.
Certainly north of Edgware.
Anyway, they've got a shopping centre in Wandsworth, where that post office is, and
yes, they have.
I think there's a couple of arms of that shopping centre that are delightful and new and sparkling, even though there's an Argos in there, but, you know, it's all right.
Waitrose in there too.
Yeah, there's a Waitrose at the end there, and it's okay. But then there's this other arm that seems to have been there since the 70s, and they must have yearned to knock it down when they put the sparkly bit on the end of it, but it's like some sort of withered arm on the...
Well, the
carbuncle on the face of a much-loved friend.
Indeed so. And the measure of that is if there's a JJB Sports in there, then that is a mark of the individuals who visit, who frequent such an establishment.
Tracky lads.
Yes, that's right.
There's nothing wrong with JJB Sports.
That is the #1 chav shop in the high street. Even in the middle of London, you can go into town and you can go along Oxford Street and you can look down your nose at the common peasants who perambulate along Oxford Street. But you can go around the corner to New Bond Street and it's really rather pleasant.
Oh, it's a delight, yeah. Lucy, this bloke's posher than you are.
He really is. I'm stunned.
So there you go. I'd like to know why as well, because she has a very good... She may be slightly barking mad, but she has a very good point.
Yeah. Mate, if you're in Barnes and you're facing north, never turn right, only go left. Will you do that for me?
Go left towards Chiswick?
Yes.
Yes. You see, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind going in that direction.
But stop at Windsor, okay?
Yes.
Because there's much of Berkshire that will displease you.
There is indeed. You're absolutely right.
All right, thanks a lot, Andrew.
That's okay.
Let us know how you go, all right?
I will.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Ta-da. Hey, Charles Kennedy's back in the news today. Did you read about this? Now, of course, it was in the Sun, so it might not be true. And I preface everything that I'm about to say with an apology. Everything that I'm about to say is a total lie, made up by the Sun, as usual. Charles Kennedy was axed as host of an awards ceremony last night after organisers decided he was not fit to deliver a speech. Kennedy, who quit as Lib Dem leader over booze problems, allegedly slurred his words at a dress rehearsal yesterday afternoon. Mr. Kennedy reportedly stumbled over his lines and struggled to read an auto cue. The politician, 46, he's the same age as me. All of these people who are 46, like him and Jeremy Clarkson and...
They look a lot older
well,
than
they
you.
look like they could be my dad. What have they done with themselves?
Maybe it's just that you're so young and sprightly.
I think it's probably
That's the
because I
difference.
don't do anything. I mean, Charles Kennedy has been busy...
You just make pizza,
Has
don't
been
you?
busying himself, and Jeremy Clarkson has been, doing, like, he's probably a workaholic. He just works all the time, writing and shouting, going round corners sideways.
What they should have done, of course, is have a bowl of porridge for breakfast,
Yes.
a pizza for tea.
Well, no, here's my routine. First of all, you get up in the morning. I can do that. Then you have a bowl of porridge, and then you putz around.
Don't you have a cup of tea first?
A cup of tea and a bowl of porridge.
Yeah.
And then you putz around for about an hour, and then you have second breakfast.
Second breakfast?
Yes.
What are you having for second breakfast?
Well, you know, whatever, fridge scrapings, usually. Whatever happens to be in the fridge. Like an egg.
Alex's old pizza?
No. No, I won't go that far. Egg, piece of toast, that sort of thing, and a coffee. And then you have a nap. Because by that time, it's about, 11?
Do you do this every day?
Yeah. So you have a nap at about 11 o'clock, am I right? And then, once you get up, it's time for lunch.
You must be shopping all the time.
Yeah. Well, I did. I went round Sainsbury's this afternoon, and you come out and you spend £130 on food, and then you go home and you put it all away, and there's nothing to eat. How on earth does that happen? Every single week that happens. You go out and you buy all of this stuff, and you come home having spent, the equivalent of the oh, God,
What, your
my
month's
brain's
salary?
just stopped. Yeah, the gross domestic product of a small African nation on food.
Yep.
Most of which they would crawl over hot coals to get their hands on. Poor people from Ethiopia. You've got a basket full of the stuff, and you go home and there's nothing to eat.
And you let it go mouldy in your fridge?
Well, how does that happen?
Well, because I spend a lot on sort of cleaning products and things like that. And then if you buy any booze, that does kind of add up. Well, I've got to at the moment.
What, have you got like
Well, since we've bought the
a
house...
crack lab in your kitchen?
No.
What are you cooking?
But the lady whose house it was before, she was a heavy smoker, and there's lots of wallpaper around, and there's paint on top of it, and it sort of smells really strongly of tobacco, but a stale tobacco.
Oh, you know what'll get rid of that?
What?
A cat.
Oh, I don't want a cat. I've got fish. I can't have a cat. But, so it's disgusting, so I'm trying to get rid of it all the time, and I'm lighting candles, and I've washed the walls, I've painted our bedroom, but I still can't get rid of it.
All of this in the time that you just moved into your house? How long have you been there?
A week.
You've washed the walls
Yes.
and painted your bedroom inside of a week?
Yes. I've got a dishwasher
What?
fitted. What? I've ordered the carpet, I've ordered a spare bed, I've done quite a lot of work, and we're off to home base tomorrow because it's 10% day. Can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
10%. 10%, that's nothing. That's...
Oh, no, that counts. It all adds up.
No,
When you've got
it
to
doesn't,
change-
because you will go there and you'll buy stuff that you don't need and you'll never use
No,
just because it's 10%
I've
off.
got a list. I've got a list.
Do you
And
do you go to the supermarket with a list?
Yes, I do, and I cross it all off.
Right. See, that's where I err.
Yeah.
Two
You
rules.
just
First rule,
wander around.
never go to the supermarket when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Second, always make a list. That's what I don't do. I just go and fill the basket with whatever I can remember I think I need, and then I come home and there's nothing to eat. Like within about 2 days, I guarantee it, I'll look in the fridge and there won't be anything there. It's like, where did all that go?
And when you walk around the supermarket, do you find bargains, or do you just find products that you like? I mean, if you see 2 for 1, would you buy that?
Only if it's something I want.
Okay, but you wouldn't think, I'll pop that in the freezer, or I'll keep that in the cupboard or whatever.
No, because I'm not crazy. But just buy something I don't like.
Saves money, and then you'll still have food in the cupboards, won't you?
Well, only if it's something that I like. But it sounds like you're the kind of woman who'd go in and buy a pair of shoes that don't fit, just as it's 50% off.
No, well, no.
How many shoes have you ever bought that you've only worn in the shop?
No, I've worn every pair of shoes outside.
Are you lying?
No, I would never not ever wear them, but I might have worn them only once or twice, which is still pretty bad.
How many pairs of shoes have you got?
About 50.
What? 50?
Probably. I did actually chuck out 2 bin bags full of shoes last year, so now I only have 1 bin bag full.
Your poor husband, you made him throw away all of his old vinyl, which is...
he kept nearly all of it. And now he's trying to buy some silly piece of equipment so that he can download it from vinyl into the computer. But I think that's a waste of money.
What, those things that you see in the newspapers that are a turntable with a computer wire on the end of it?
Yeah. What's the point of that? I think you should be able to hire them, but it's really hard to hire them. You have to buy
Hire a turntable?
Well, there's no point spending £150 just to stick it in there, is there?
Well, it depends. I mean, his vinyl are part of his life. You see, as blokes, we were... Alex will back me up on this. Where have you been, by the way?
I had to go and blow my nose.
Oh, right. Powder his nose, did he?
Well, he says he's got a horrible cold, and if
I can't blow my nose in front of Lucy. It's too rude.
Oh. Do you realise that Italian MPs are blowing their nose, in inverted commas, frequently? Did you read about this? Italian MPs? Oh, they're all in there powdering their nose constantly. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Remind me, all right?
I will.
But first of all, we have to deal with you. What were we talking about?
We were talking about how to get rid of the smoke smell in my house.
No, we weren't. We'd left that a while ago. I told you to get a cat in heat, and then you won't smell that smoke smell anymore.
Shoes.
Record collection.
Oh, yeah, your husband's record collection, yeah.
Men and their vinyl.
Yes, that's his life wrapped up in that vinyl there. You pick it up and you smell it, and it's like memories. Oh, what memories?
That is his youth.
Yes.
Now he's a married man who needs to say goodbye to silly things and get some money on that vinyl.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a sound you'll hear a lot over at Lucy's place. How big are those records, by the way?
We're looking at 10 inches.
Picture this, Abbot.
Come on, we're running late!
Yeah, Italian MPs. You want to hear about this? A television programme which purports to show widespread drug use among Italy's MPs was scrapped before transmission a little while ago amid uproar over both the results and the methods used to entrap the politicians. In a classic sting operation, some 50 politicians were fooled into thinking they were being interviewed about aspects of next year's draft budget. Instead, a makeup artist with a satirical TV show swabbed their eyebrows to get a sample of their perspiration, which was then tested for traces of cannabis and cocaine. 12 out of 50 tested positive for cannabis and 4 for cocaine, all apparently taken in the 36 hours before being approached.
Groovy.
Although the 16 have not been named, a programme well known for spoofs that embarrassed public figures was cancelled over claims that the privacy of politicians had been invaded. They're just like us. Not us, just like ours.
Ours, yes, because that happened to all their Lucies, didn't they? Didn't they all get swabbed or whatever?
All their Lucies?
Loo-seats.
Oh, loo-seats.
Not Lucy's.
I wonder what you meant. Loose seats. I think the top of the systems rather than the loose seat. I mean, maybe Pete Doherty would go that low, but...
Oh.
The head of the programme team said the spirit of the programme is not to persecute any one person, but to be a mirror of Italy. He said the results of the tests were in line with national statistics, which show that drug use is common in Italy.
Yowza.
Italian politicians reacted angrily to the stunt. Some bloke from a right-wing National Alliance called for the destruction of the samples taken from MPs. He said the programme makers should be severely punished for being in illegal possession of the DNA of 50 parliamentarians. Italian politicians have a long history of drug misdemeanours. In 2003, the former Prime Minister, Emilio Colombo, well, there's a sign right there in his second name, admitted that he had purchased cocaine after his drug dealer was arrested, but he said it was for therapeutic purposes.
Yeah.
Italy's drug laws were relaxed in 93, but were tightened again last year in a zero-tolerance policy promoted by the former Deputy Prime Minister. The new laws abolished the distinction between hard and soft drugs and made possession, as well as dealing, a criminal offence. Under the new laws, anyone found in possession of as little as 2 cannabis joints could, in theory, be prosecuted as a dealer, unless you are a politician, in which case you want the people who found out about your drug-taking to be prosecuted. Hey, Silvio.
Want to score some pot?
How is the war on drugs going, by the way?
Fabulous.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. This is LBC. I am Nick Abbott, in for Clive Bull, who is taking a suspicious day's holiday just before the weekend. And, I was expecting to talk to someone there, but they've gone.
They were saying they really liked your show. Oh, I wanted to tell you something earlier.
Yeah.
Oyster card. Colin in Dagenham said Oyster card is because the world is your oyster.
Is it?
Well, in theory, I suppose.
Oh,
in
that's
London.
not the actual.
No, but that's
reason.
why it was called the Oyster card.
So
apparently.
that is the actual reason.
Yeah, that is apparently.
Because London is your
well,
oyster.
it's only London, isn't it?
Yeah. Not much of an oyster.
And not even British Rail. Just the tube is your oyster.
That really riles me.
Yeah, isn't that
why not?
stupid?
And it's not just that you can't use an Oyster card on British Rail at all. It's that you can't use it unless you've got a season ticket. Because they allow you one if you've got a season ticket.
Yeah.
But not if you just go from week to week.
I know,
pay
I didn't
as you
realise
go.
that until I got caught.
It's an outrage.
Isn't it?
So you got caught?
Well, yeah.
Ah.
They didn't put warning on my card though. But I said, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "You haven't bought a ticket." And I said, "Well, what do you call this?" And they said, "No, that's the wrong one."
Is that the manner in which you spoke to them?
A little.
You're lucky you've not got
I was in a
frog
rush.
marched.
And I thought, oh, he's just trying to annoy me, but he wasn't, obviously. Just trying to get more of my money.
Well, you are in a rush. I mean, I cannot believe that in the brief time that you've been in your house here, you've washed all the walls.
Pretty much, yeah.
And painted a room.
I've painted all our bedroom and glossed the doors as well. My
What?
father helped me as well with some of it, but yeah.
I cannot. How about you, Alex? I mean, if it were me, I'd be looking at boxes for years.
I'd be getting my vinyl out. Setting the record player up, I think.
Well, yeah, I'd set the TV up and the music.
I've
and then-
already been to Homebase today to get my tester pots for the kitchen in time for the 10% day tomorrow, so I didn't want to waste my money today.
Oh, you are really scaring me now.
Why? I'm being sensible.
I just cannot believe. Have you taken everything out of boxes already?
Yes, I've got 4 left to go, and we had 40. You're looking at me like I'm mad.
How can anyone be that organised?
Because I have to make it my home and settle in quickly. I couldn't sleep the first few nights. Not with the lady of the night across the way. Her visitors.
Well, how does that manifest itself, this lady of the night?
Well, you occasionally get a little queue.
What?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Did they ever get the wrong door?
No, thankfully not.
Does anybody ever come to the door and say,
I want to show you something?
Thankfully not. Yeah, so it is a little bit strange, but I think it'll take some getting used to. But, you know.
Well, is there a red light in her? I mean,
No.
how do you know that she's a lady of the night?
Because we've actually met our neighbours, who are very nice.
Right.
And, one of them said to us that she was, and he has spoken to the police about it too, and she advertises in Southall.
What, leans out the window and shouts?
No, we do hear her shouting. She always seems a little bit angry, but then I suppose you'd have to be quite, sort of, I don't know, tough about things, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, so...
I saw a Japanese movie last night, which was, it was supposedly a classic called Kagemusha. And it was by Akira Kurosawa. It's a classic, apparently. It was 2.5 hours of men in dressing gowns shouting at each other.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was about Ladies of the Night.
No, it wasn't. No, but it was shouting was the link. Yeah.
Oh, right.
It was Oh God, it was interminable. I just thought it would never end, but I had to
But you
sit.
watched it
Well, I had to
through.
sit through it because it's a classic. But I think that's positively the last Japanese samurai warrior film I will ever watch, because it was just they just shout all the time. No one's ever happy or pleased or quiet, or there's never a gentle moment. They're just bellowing at each other, and they can be face to face and they're still yelling at each other. What's that about?
I've no idea.
They're very, very strange movies. I saw one called Audition, and if you're of a weak temperament, you definitely, absolutely do not want to see that movie. It's one of the most horrible films I've ever seen in my whole life.
Really?
Awful, yeah.
What, bloodthirsty?
Gory, beyond, not gory such that you see a lot of gore,
Yeah.
but it was... There's absolutely no point in me going on about this. It's like one of these conversations. Here, did you see that thing last night? Oh, we went, oh, and she went, oh, and they said knickers, and I went, oh, and... It's pointless. Anyway, write that down. Don't see Audition if you don't like to be horrified and, traumatised for the rest of your life.
I'll avoid it.
And that's a tip. It's our pubic service from LBC. They've banned vibrant, dynamic, gravitas, ambitious, hungry... Hang on a minute, I haven't done the Kennedy thing. I get halfway through stories and then you interrupt me, Lucy, and
I'm sorry.
Totally sidetracked. Yes, not Nigel Kennedy, the other guy. What's his name? I've completely forgotten what his name
Charles.
is. Charles, yes, Charlie, isn't he? He reportedly stumbled over his lines and struggled to read an auto cue during a dress rehearsal for some awards ceremony the other day. So reports The Sun, so it might not be true. The politician, 46. That's where I got sidetracked. I've read the word 46, and that's me too. He'd been expected to present the Plush Marketing Week Effectiveness Awards. And if you're, feeling happy, that's almost impossible to say, isn't it? Marketing Week Effectiveness Award. See, I'm not drunk, and I can't say it. Not that he was drunk. But within an hour of arriving for the rehearsal event, bosses finally called a halt. After an emergency meeting, they decided to give Mr. Kennedy the boot and called the BBC presenter Jeremy Vine as a replacement. Who's that? Your mouth is making...
I'm mouthing I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, right. A source said Kennedy arrived at about 3 p.m. His eyes were half closed and he was slurring his speech. He clearly wasn't in a fit state to do the dress rehearsal properly. He was taken to the ballroom of the hotel and and made his way up to the stage. The lights went down and the auto cue came on, but he just couldn't read it. The source said he stumbled over his lines and it was really painful to watch. Mr. Kennedy's spokeswoman claimed last night that there were, quotes, some problems with the script. Well, yeah, he couldn't read it. Here's Robert from the Rhondda.
In the Swansea.
Swansea?
I'm in Swansea tonight. I just discovered you were on about 3 minutes ago. I was going to go out for an evening in a club. I was going to go to a famous club, and it was going to be fun, but I thought, no, I'll stay in and listen to you, because that'll be better.
You were going to go out to somewhere outside of Swansea to a club, were you?
How insulting. No, I was going to go to a place called Jumping Jack.
Oh. Sounds painful.
Well, yeah, it's one of those places that have a CD of the same music in the same order all the time. But it's huge, and I know a couple of people going dressed as cowgirls and cowboys, and so I thought, useful.
Right, so you might have got lucky this evening.
I could have. But there we are. You know me, young, free and single. So...
Dateless, yes.
Dateless, well, sort of. Who needs dates when you have the internet? Joke. So I saw this...
Yeah, right.
I said, it is! So I saw this film I told you about on Saturday, The History Boys.
The History Boys, yes.
Yes, and I was raving about it. So yesterday I went back to watch it again.
Really? Because it got 1 star in the Sunday Times. He hated it.
I find that shocking. No, it's life-affirming. And anybody who's in, sixth form now should really watch it. I wish I'd watched it before I went to university.
Because Alan Bennett, I find, is properly funny, but I don't know anything about this, and I probably will see it, so don't tell me anything about it either.
Well,
see, this is why I didn't... I only saw the stars. I didn't actually read the review, so I don't know what he found so objectionable, because they always tell you what happens in the end.
Well, however much it costs to see a film in London, £100?
£86, yes.
Yeah, go and watch it. It's So I bought tickets now. I'm a student, and I bought tickets to see the national tour in the theatre.
That's how boring Swansea is.
It's in Cardiff, so I have to travel out and see the big city.
Yeah, it's almost like a foreign country for you. Yeah,
They
take
hate
oxygen.
each other.
Yeah.
Hate each other. When there's football matches, blimey.
All right, well, listen, the best of luck, Rob. You called at a very bad time. 'Cause we have
Okay,
to-
well, I'll talk to you on Saturday.
Ta-ta.
Bye!
Abbott.
I was hoping I could get my nails clipped and out of the way before you got here.
I did not realise that Wills wore contact lenses. Did you realise that Wills wore contact lenses?
I didn't, actually.
No, there's things that we're finding out, and perhaps it was a kept secret of the Freedom of Information Act. People have
Maybe
been
Harry
asking-
does
yeah.
too.
Well, yeah.
Laser their eyes?
Do you think he ever sobers up enough to put them in? Poor Wills. He's blind as a bat, thick as a brick, he's got no hair, and his dad talks to trees. Hey, Wills, why the long face? That's not very nice, is it?
That was really cruel.
Awful. I am so sorry. Yeah. So, is he still sick?
Is he still sick?
Yeah.
Who, Clive?
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't rung in to say he's
I
feeling
bet
better.
he hasn't. No, he doesn't want to make the international call.
Oh, poor Clive. Someone rang in earlier to say that he really is ill, you know.
Is he? How do they know?
Because he hasn't sounded well all week.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh, don't say that.
No,
about
well,
Clive.
I mean it. Poor baby.
I don't know if he'd want you to call him a baby.
Poor.
Poor chap.
Yeah.
Poor chap, that's better.
Is it like a throaty thing? Like you can't
I
speak?
think so, yeah. Yeah.
Awful. I think that the building might have something to do with it. Well, apart from anything else. See, everyone talks into the same mic, right?
Yeah.
So if a DJ, there are not DJs here. Of course not. Presenters, yes. If a presenter gets it, then every other presenter that talks into this microphone, which is this unhealthy foam-covered thing that we speak into about, and spit into, let's face it, about sort of 6 inches in front of our face, then if one person's got it, then everyone else who talks into it is going to get it as well. It goes round like wildfire.
I should bring my detergent in, shouldn't I?
Well, I
Give it
should
a good spray.
Yes, that's right. You need to
Yeah.
get cleaning here, woman.
I could wash it ready for Saturday.
Now, did your husband ever do any cleaning around the house?
Yes.
He is definitely going to wait outside and beat me up one time, isn't he?
No.
How dare I intrude into your personal private life?
He'll be glad for the sympathy. But when he does the hoovering, of course, he doesn't do it quite like I would. He sort of does... Now, I don't know if this is a boy thing, but he hoovers the direct area. He doesn't sort of, like, pull the bin out, pull the chairs out, and actually get under there, you know, really give it some. Sort of just skirts around.
Well, you're not going to see where the bin is,
Well,
are you?
that's his thing, but that's a ridiculous way to look at it, because then all the dust builds up. Don't you find?
And how often do you clean?
Oh, regularly.
How often is regularly?
Oh, whenever I think it looks a little bit dirty.
Go on, put a figure on it.
Oh, well, I haven't hoovered this week, actually, but I have swept up. But you know, it's getting dirty regularly at the moment, so...
Whose phone is that?
That's mine. It's probably my husband.
Aha!
Hoovering now, dear.
Yes, just cleaning up before you come home.
Yeah. Let's go for Hampshire. One in Yateley. Hello. Gorn. How about Forest Gate? Hello, John.
Hello.
John.
How are you?
I'm all right.
You're standing in for Clive?
Yeah.
So what are you up to?
Oh, you know, just doing a little show.
Have you ever tried winning the lottery?
Have I ever tried winning the lottery? Yeah, that's a game I don't understand. I went and bought... I paid my £1 for, you know, just the other weekend to win £20 million. And, I don't know, maybe I did something wrong, but I paid my £1 and then I didn't win £20 million.
How much did you win then?
Well, I didn't win it. I didn't win, roughly, nothing. I don't get it.
Well, you know my mate, he won about £200 yesterday.
No, I don't know your mate.
Obviously you won't know him. But I'm
But-
just saying.
Well, you just said that. Said, do I know your mate?
It's going well, this conversation, isn't it?
I like this guy.
Do you?
There's your phone again. Who is that?
Oh, I don't know. Shall I
Try to put it on silent.
Yeah, put it on silent or put it on vibrate or something.
Yes, Dad.
You're in a radio studio,
Sorry,
dear.
But, you know,
Very unprofessional. Hey, Alex, what does your phone say now?
Same as I did before. But I've turned it off. I've put it on silent on your orders.
And what does it say?
Gay in the soldier.
And don't you find that embarrassing when it goes off in a combined space?
No, I like the fact that it's a bit different to beep, 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 beep.
Really?
And people look at me and I can go, yeah, I've got something a bit different to you.
What do you think they're thinking when they hear that?
Yeah, they probably don't know what it... They probably just hear... they probably just heard...
Yeah, and then equally...
Well, I know if there's a fellow LBC person anywhere in the vicinity, they'll get a laugh out of it. Or maybe not.
But only if they heard that particular call on that particular show, surely.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a well-known clip.
Is it?
Yeah. But it is quite sad, I'll admit it.
Slightly anarchy, I think. Do you think?
Just weird. Just like plain weird. I mean,
Maybe I'll get a bit of Robin the Ronda on mine ready for next week. What do you think?
What have you got on yours?
Well, nothing. It just I've got the... Because on mine it's one of these things that comes with about 20 different tunes, almost all of which are so embarrassing that you wouldn't want to play them in public, like the William Tell Overture and like stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I've just got the one that sounds most like an ordinary phone, the least embarrassing one, and most of the time I just leave it on vibrate so it makes no sound at all.
What about for your text messages, though?
Do I look like I'm 12? I don't text message.
You must. Do you not at all?
Who text messages?
Oh,
out of school.
It means you don't have to talk to people half the time.
Lucy does it with... If I send Lucy a text, I'll get one back within the second.
Oh.
She's so fast.
I'm so fast.
It takes me about half an hour to write one.
You are wound up like an alarm clock, Lucy. Seriously, you need to take a holiday. When was the last time you took a holiday?
Well, I took my holiday to move house.
That's no holiday. That's one of the most stressful things you could ever do outside of finding that your husband has hoovered incorrectly.
I gave myself a migraine and then I made myself sick as well. I just did a bit too much.
Sick?
Yeah.
Actual
vomiting. Vomit, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Anyway, I've calmed down now. I didn't do anything last night. I just cooked dinner and went to bed.
And how did you make yourself... What, with stress?
Yeah.
You're kidding?
Well, we were sort of getting up early in the morning and then doing it right until, midnight-ish each night and...
And you threw up?
Yeah. The other day I did. Yeah. At Mum's. I was too busy. And she said, I think you need to just slow down a little bit. So, that was my wake-up
Have you ever been so busy that you threw up, Alex?
It's like no, I don't know what it's like to be busy.
It's like talking to... now, how would I describe both of you in the terms of animals? For instance, well, Lucy would definitely be a squirrel who's like running around trying to gather all of the nuts before the first snow of winter. And Alex, you'd be...
Sloth.
Well, that would be exactly what I was going to say, but then I hesitated before I said it because I didn't want to, say sloth.
I would think you'd be quite gazelle-ish, actually.
A gazelle?
Yes.
Oh, I'm quite happy with that.
Yes.
It could have been anything. I was thinking it would be more like...
Oh, no.
Something like that.
But then when you said you had 2 breakfast and you sort of leisurely got up, then that might make you a little bit more...
Yeah, constantly eating, yeah.
Hippo-ish. I don't know. Yeah.
And of course, when I get a bad call, then... How's this guy? Hey, Lee. Oh, Lee?
Hello?
Yes, Lee.
Oh, it's not Lee. It's Lee's mate. Just ringing off his phone. We're
okay. Is Lee there?
Yeah. What? Do you want to speak to Lee?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. Lee, tell him about our day. We had a really funny story to tell you. Yeah, Lee, come here. 1 second. We had a funnier story to tell you. 1 second.
Seriously doubt that.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, who's this I'm speaking to?
It's Nick Abbott at LBC. You're on the air.
I'm on the air, am I?
Well, you can give it back to the other bloke if you like. Oh,
I don't mind talking on the air.
Unhappy.
Didn't realise he just walked away and got on the phone.
All right. Nice friend.
Yeah, well, I think... What's that? He's just trying to tell me something. Hold on a sec. What's that?
I'll put you on hold, shall I?
No, you're right. Yeah, he wants to speak to us about our friend Craig, was it?
Well, you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking...
I'll tell you what, I will put you on hold. You sort your little selves out there, and we'll take a break. Do we take a break now?
You can do.
Oh, all right then.
Hello.
I'm gonna give you a moment. All right.
Yeah. All right.
And then
I'm ready now. I'm ready to talk to you now.
Okay. Well, Well, we're not. We have
All
to.
right. I'll wait.
We have to take a pause now, just to see if we can get our head around what it is that's happening on this show. Because frankly, we've got no idea.
Happy husband.
Abbott.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Okay, Lee.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh, it's
Let
not
me tell you
Lee.
about our story.
Lee's friend.
Today,
Yes.
we have a friend called Craig, and he never has much luck with girls. And today he had a go around, but he wouldn't let any of us see who it was or whatever. So we all went outside his house in a van. There was about 5 of us all sitting there waiting outside for the girl to come out. And guess who comes out? Some short, big, plump, like just really ugly girl, right? And then Craig comes out after and he goes, "Yeah, mate, I lost my virginity just now." And it was just the funniest day of our life. Like picture Craig. He looks like Olive Oil from Popeye.
Yes.
Yeah, he looks like that sort of. He's tall and he's skinny. He's a worm. And then this girl was like, half her height and or maybe even 8 times in width. And, it was just really funny. Just thought I'd tell you.
Okay, thanks for passing it on. Cheers, Lee. I guess you'd have to have been there. You're saying that she needed a cherry picker to get up that high. Right. Not only was he tall and he's thin, but he had bright orange hair, too.
There is, you will agree, certain je ne sais quoi, very special about a firm young carrot.
I saw a video at the gym the other day, and, you're right there, Lucy.
Oh, it was the worm description I thought was good. Everyone's an animal tonight.
Yeah, the worm.
The biggest whopper of the year.
Oh, by the way, worms are getting bigger.
Are they?
Not those kind of worms.
You mean...
Yeah.
The wiggly ones? I presume.
Humans will grow to an average of 6'6" and live to the age of 120 and have all brown skin by the year 3000, an evolutionary expert suggested yesterday. This is in the...
oh, yes.
The Telegraph.
Nick Ferrari was talking about it yesterday as well.
Dr. Oliver of the LSE said that our species will evolve to be taller and live longer, and that racial differences will become less and less pronounced, thanks to trends in nutrition, medicine and migration. We'll all be doing it with everybody else, and it will all be a great big melting pot. Can you even wait?
Hardly.
By the year 1000 and... by the year 102,000... what?
102,000?
That's what it says.
What?
Mankind will have split into 2 distinct subspecies, the genetic haves and the genetic have-nots. Well, I think they've split into those already, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Barnes and Hammersmith. He says humans will reach their physical peak of perfection at the end of this millennia, when we'll all be 7 foot tall. We'll be
women as well.
Oh, yeah, I expect so.
Oh. Well, that's not a very attractive thought, is it?
Well, I don't know.
How is that?
Well, if everything goes in,
Are women getting taller?
Well, there must be. Everyone's getting taller. Have you ever gone around like an old boat, like the Mary Rose, whatever the hell they call it? I don't know. The MSS, HSS, whatever it's called.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
You see, I mean, we have to stoop now just to walk around, right? And you see the cots that they used to sleep in, and they're like about 3 foot long. So yes, the people used to be very, very short. Or you go around an old house, and they're crawling through, and we are crawling through doors they used to swan leisurely through. So yeah, everyone used to be 3'6" only 20 years ago. Did you know that?
But as we age, we'll get smaller again.
Well, no, it's because we don't stand up properly.
And we stoop.
Yeah. Well, according to this bloke, in the year 102,000, there will be stooping people who look, about, 100,000 years from now, mankind will be divided into 2 distinct subspecies, with the genetic elite moving in ever more exclusive circles. The genetic upper class will be increasingly tall, thin, healthy and creative, like Joni Mitchell.
Right.
And the genetic underclass will be short, stocky, asymmetrical, grubby, unhealthy and less intelligent, like Liam Gallagher.
Yeah.
But the ones in the middle, in about 1,000 years' time, will be 7 foot tall, better looking, will have more symmetrical features, stronger, and the bit that the Daily Telegraph missed out, which the sun was jumping all over, was the fact that they're, will be much, much bigger.
For women too?
Well, they don't have any, Lucy. It's
No, they're breastage area.
Maybe you skipped that class in school, but no, women don't have that part, that particular personal part.
I didn't mean that
But
part.
for men, it's going to be
Enormous.
huge. Yes, can you even wait? Lucy's very upset. Her parents had sex 1,000 years too early. So that's something to look forward to, eh? Oh, I'm exhausted. How does he do this? 4 hours every night. What does he talk about?
Oh, things like this.
Things, business.
Yeah, are you running out? have you had enough now?
I've got no end of stuff, but it's me.
You need to have a bowl of porridge, didn't you, at the beginning?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Pronouncing foreign food. Can you do that?
What sort?
Apparently, while many Britons claim to be food lovers, they still cannot correctly pronounce what's on their plates or in their cups.
Oh, I'd like to play this game. Come on, let's play a game.
All right, then. Foreign waiters are apparently curling their lips in contempt as diners struggle with culinary tongue twisters. I want you to say that 10 times right now without screwing it up. Culinary tongue twisters. I bet you can't.
Culinary tongue twisters. Culinary tongue twisters. Okay.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
That was.
It also is, you could stray into dangerous territory.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just as well I stopped after 2.
I think your brain seized up. It saw the problem ahead and thought, oh no, I can't, you thought.
So which words are difficult to pronounce?
Top of the list of linguistic clangers highlighted by the study for the BBC's Good Food magazine is the Italian toasted bread dish. Can you think of which one I'm talking about?
Ciabatta?
No.
Focaccia?
No.
Bread dish. Oh, give me a clue. Bruschetta?
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Given a choice between 2 phonetically spelt options, 63% pronounced bruschetta as bruschetta, which you just said, rather than the correct bruschetta. Wrong. Do you still like this game?
Yeah, I want to get some right.
Another favourite for mispronunciation, I can't say anything, piss pronunciation, is the spicy Spanish sausage. Do you know what that is?
Chorizo.
Often cooked in red wine. Of those surveyed, 56% were convinced that adding an Italian TZ sound, making it chorizo, would be more authentic. When the softer chorizo is correct. 0% so far.
Thanks.
The flat, unleavened Mexican bread. Can you think?
No.
Begins with a T.
Begins with a T?
T-O.
Describe it to me. What would I...
Flat, unleavened Mexican bread.
So you
would roll it up and
tortilla?
put...
Oh, tortilla.
Right.
Or tortilla, or whatever. I'm now trying to guess what it should be.
You're just throwing them at me now. Pick one.
Tortilla.
Dipped in salsa did not come out as tortilla in 12% of answers, so you got that one right.
Yay! 1 out of 3.
Awful. I helped you there.
Strong black coffee served in a small cup. See? What is wrong with me?
A small chicken.
Served in a small cup and favoured by Italians is called...
Espresso.
Well,
espresso.
I'm sorry, but I'm taking your first answer.
No, espresso. I was just being silly.
It's espresso and definitely not espresso.
Oh, I didn't say X.
Oh, well, only a moron would have said that.
Exactly.
The British inability to deal with other tongues was also shown up on the wine list.
Oh,
40% were unable to correctly pronounce the French white P-O-U-I-L-L-Y-F-U-M-E. Oh, she's right.
Hang on, P-O-U-I.
Determined to get this right. P-O-U-I-L-L-Y-F-U-M-E.
Puy-fume.
Is the correct answer.
And remember that champagne as well that we looked up the other week? That lots of people mispronounce.
I've never known how to say that.
M-O-E-T. M-O-E-T.
Is it Moët Chandon?
Moët Chandon.
Moët Chandon. Moët.
Yeah, because he was Dutch. And so it's Moët et Chandon. So the et Chandon is still French. But Moët is not. Because it's got an umlaut over the... Do I mean an umlaut? Yeah. The 2 dots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, an umlaut.
Yeah.
Hey, you really are, you're awful
Not
start.
as dull as I look.
Awful start to the race, but you're coming good at the end. Gillian Carter, the editor of the Good Food magazine, said, when people are unsure of how to pronounce something on the menu, they often point, or end up ordering only things they know how to say. I'd encourage anyone to take a gamble rather than miss out on something delicious. That's what she says. Oh, God, what am I going to have to do to get some calls in on this show? Does Clive normally have nothing? I mean, what have I talked about on this show so far? I've talked about... is there a subject that I haven't talked about?
Not really.
See, my problem is that I don't say, right, this is what I'm going to talk about from now on. Hey, did we get the papers yet?
No, I have asked them they're going to ring after 11:30.
Who are?
Reception is.
Oh,
I don't know his name,
God.
and he's terribly nice, and he always knows my name, and I always find that a bit embarrassing.
I know, me too.
How do you ask someone?
Well, it's, you know, being on the air, everyone in the building knows your name, and this has always dogged me for every radio station I work at, because it's easy, because your name's printed in the newspapers. They know who you are. You're on the air saying your name every 5 minutes. Jingles say your name. They know who you are, and they say, hi, Nick, and I go...
Who are you?
Hello. No, I wouldn't say that. It's awful. It's just, hi. And then just dot.
You have to think of a word that you use instead. Hi, mate. All right. How are you doing? You have to just keep going, I think. And that way you can kind of cover it up.
It doesn't make any difference. Unless you can actually come up with their name, then the silence speaks volumes. It's like I took over from Jonathan Ross for about 6 months there on some other radio station that I used to work for, and he knew my name because it was probably written on the schedule that I was coming next. And I'd go, hello, Jonathan. He'd go, hello, Nick. And then I saw him at some function about 3 months later, and I said, oh, Jonathan. And he said, hello there. Awful. I wanted the ground to swallow me up. A famous person who I would have, scored maximum points, didn't know who I was. How could he? I've never watched a thing he's been in since. Have I missed anything? Here's Robert. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing, kid?
I'm all right.
Yeah. Listen, you were talking about the guys in Dutch. The guy, the mooi chandon?
Yes.
No, it should be moed chandon, then, if he's Dutch. I do happen to speak fluent Dutch. I can't help that.
Moot?
Yeah, so heet that. That's what you call it in Dutch. M-O-E-T is moot.
But Dutch doesn't have umlauts, do they? That's German.
Yeah, that's what's confusing me, I must admit. I was thinking about that before I called. But you never know. Nonetheless.
And how come you speak fluent Dutch?
Because I lived there for some time.
Wasn't that a hard language to...
No, it's a piece of piss to tell you the truth. It's the first thing I learned in Dutch.
What, really easy? Is that what you mean?
Huh? Sorry?
Do you mean it was really easy?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said.
Yeah. I can't even read it when it's standing there in front of me.
Well, I'm Scottish by birth, and there's a lot of Scottish, and there's a generic thing that goes with Dutch and Scottish. I don't know.
It's the worst. I mean, they're among the best-looking people in the world, but the worst sounding.
The best-looking people in the world are Czech.
Czech.
Yeah,
well,
my wife's Israeli, and believe me, they're quite close, but I mean, Czech is the best.
When I went to Israel, it was a real surprise. They are beautiful over there. Yeah, could you believe it? Because you were going over expecting not much, right?
No, my wife's Israeli, I met her in Amsterdam.
And, but when you go to Israel, you just,
I find so much better than I met in Amsterdam, yeah.
You're dribbling constantly, yeah.
Well, at least I don't lie.
But no, they look great, the Dutch, but they sound awful.
I thought you were talking about the Israelis, I'm sorry.
If only they would stop speaking once in a while.
Well, I don't mind, actually. Sign language is also a very good solution.
Sign language? Well, the international language of lust, yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, mate.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. Okay, here we got it. Now, as you all know, all champagne comes from the Champagne region of France. Sparkling wine from anywhere else on the planet is just that. In some regions of France, they pronounced Moet as Moet, not Moët. So try not to look down on anyone who uses this pronunciation, as they may not... So what are they saying?
Well, I need to find the other one to show you all the... But I just thought I'd show you that, first of all. That doesn't tell you enough, does it?
They're saying that in some regions of France, they pronounce Moet as... Moet, not Moët. So they're saying that it's Moët.
Well...
That sounds like what they're saying.
Hang on. I found it before, I'll find it again.
You're a whiz cleaning around the house, but you're slow as syrup finding this stuff.
Hey, I hate to be a party pooper, but we got to go to the news.
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Right, so what are we doing?
Right, the last word I want to say about champagne is that my confusion was always not the Moe part, because that's just Moe, right? But because there's an E-T after it, as in A, then you'd pronounce the last letter of Moe, because so it would become Moet Chandon.
Yes.
Now, is that correct? We don't know, do we?
No.
We still haven't got to that. It's not the Moe part that I'm confused about. It's the do you put the T on the end before the A? So is it Moet Chandon? And I never want to...
Yes,
well,
I
apart
would've
from
thought so.
I can't afford it, I would never want to order it in a restaurant or a
Purely
shop.
'cause you wouldn't know.
Because I would feel like a fool if I got it wrong. And they would look down their noses at me like I was some sort of dope from, I don't know, let's pick a place out of the air, shall we? Hammersmith, one of those awful people who live in Hammersmith.
There is nothing worse, though, than giving an order, and when it's, especially when it's a particular type of pasta, whatever, and you can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I'll have that one,
I'll
please.
have the mushroom one, please.
So apparently, a lot of people have been calling in saying they want to play the screenless game.
Yes.
What does Clive call it?
I think he calls it his quickfire round.
Quickfire round.
But don't quote me on that.
All right.
But
okay, well that's what I'll do. Is, and so it'll be just straight to air. I'll go screenless, and I'll wait till there's a good few, and then I'll.
Okay.
Now,
maybe give them the number again.
No.
Oh, you're so mean.
0870 90 90 973. All right, we'll go with the Balham. Ryan.
Yes, hello.
Ryan.
Hi. I'm finding out about the Moet Chandon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because the Moet bit is German.
Not Dutch. Yeah, well, it would be German because you've got an umlaut over it, yeah.
Exactly.
So how would a German pronounce it?
Well, I don't know, that's the thing. It's really silly, but, James O'Brien was talking about it the other day.
He was?
Yeah.
It would probably be something like Mert, wouldn't it?
It's Moet Chandon, surely.
I'm never going to drink that stuff again.
No, I wouldn't either. It's not even very nice either.
Fortunately, I can't afford it, so never mind.
Oh, I think it's the crappier end of champagne anyway.
Well, I'm sure that's not the case.
Hey, look.
No, I'd never say that.
Hey, we got, I don't know, you're right here. Go on, what does it say there, Luce?
The T in hard T should be pronounced Jean-Remy Moet was Dutch, not French. Hence, it was highly amusing when the scriptwriters for any people know this. Oh, no, that's boring, that bit. But
it's Dutch, not German.
Dutch, yeah.
Oh, see, there you go.
There you are.
Thrown my explanation.
Yes, you know nothing, mate.
Nothing.
Why am I sitting here listening to you?
I don't know. I'm just going to give up and go back to sleep again.
There you go. Ta-da.
Night.
All right, this is LBC. Hello, you're on the air.
Good night, Nick. Good night, Nick.
It's like the same call twice. Reigate.
LBC?
Yes, you're on the air.
Just one point. The correct pronunciation of M-O-E-T, according to the winery, is Moet.
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 Sound the M and then wet.
Moet. Moet.
Wet, that's it.
Right.
I've been round the winery.
Oh, have you now?
Yes.
And how was it?
Oh, they find beautiful cellars. It stretched for miles.
The what, sorry?
The cellars stretch for miles.
Oh, they stretch for miles?
Oh, yes.
Right. Did you get any?
Oh, yes, I brought a couple of bottles home.
Are you still enjoying them?
Well, good Lord, no.
Oh, no, ages ago, yeah. OK, well, listen, thanks a lot, mate.
That's all right.
Ta-da. There you go, the word from the horse's mouth. Hello, you're on LBC.
Sleep well.
Same one again. See, this is one of the reasons why I stopped doing this. It's just the same people going, "Wah!" like that all night long.
Hello?
Hello, Garwin.
Hello. Oh, it's all right. But basically today I was thinking, when I was at the breakfast table, if Clive isn't on, yes?
Yeah.
I thought I'd ring you. basically, I'm lying bed on my own, naked, of course, thinking about you, yeah?
See what I mean? Hello, LBC. South London. Hello, Bill. Oh, Bill? Yes, Bill.
Who's Bill?
I don't know. Is it you?
My name's not Bill.
Is Bill there?
No.
Have you heard from Bill lately?
Bill Oddie.
What?
Bill Oddie.
Oddie. Oh, right. No, not Bill Oddie. Who are you? What's your name?
I'm Bill, and my mate's called Ben. And we're the Flower Pot Men.
Right. See, it's people with material. That's the problem. I don't know how Ian puts up with it. I really don't. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, Nick. Good evening. How are you this evening?
Oh, my God, it's a Dalek. I'm all right, mate.
Good, good. I'd like to read you something that someone wrote to me earlier.
I don't think we could stand it. What kind of a phone are you using?
Probably a bad one. Shall I call you back?
Yes, would you do that for me?
Will do, no problem.
Thanks a lot. As soon as you break into the Earth's atmosphere, give us a ring back. Paul.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, Paul.
Who's that, sorry?
It's Nick. You're on LBC.
Hello, Nick. How did you know it's my name?
Because it's written on this screen right in front of me.
Really? That's amazing.
You're in our database.
Oh, excellent. Just a quick brain teaser for you, Nick.
Go on.
What's the longest word you can type on the top row of your keyboard?
What's the longest word you can type on the top row of your keyboard?
Yeah. Shall I leave that with you?
Go on, then.
Have I got to tell the nation, or can I tell you?
I know.
Oh, Lucy thinks she knows. Go on, what is it, Lucy?
Typewriter.
Correct.
Yay!
Typewriter?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Look on the top row.
QWERTY?
Yeah, but if you carry on, see all the other letters, you can use typewriter.
What's the longest word you can type on the top row?
No, the longest word you can get out of the top row of the keyboard.
Yeah.
Of the letters.
QWERTY?
No, you can get typewriter out of it.
How?
Have a look on your keyboard.
I haven't got a keyboard.
I've got to go, Nick.
Right.
No, I'm doing it now. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's all off the top row.
Is it?
Yeah.
QWERTY?
No, you don't. QWERTY is just... Look, QWERTY is just the first ones. It's for touch typists. That's why you can get it on that.
Oh, don't look so sad.
Well,
This is the full top row.
Right.
Right.
QWERTY.
See? And out of that, you can get typewriter.
Typewri. Well, you can't, because there's only one T.
Yep. It would be difficult
You're
about it.
exasperated, aren't you? Hello, LBC. I can't hear a word you're saying, dear. Let's go with this one. Hello.
Hello there, it's me again. Am I a Dalek still?
No, much better.
Fantastic. Fantastic. A thought of the day for you, Nick.
Go on.
I was miserable because I didn't have shoes on my feet. Till I saw a man without feet. Just a thought of the day.
Oh, that's lovely. Now we feel much better.
Good.
Thanks a lot, mate. I'm so glad you called back. Yes, LBC.
Hey, man! Do you mind that somebody made a page of Nick Abbot on MySpace?
No, I don't. Someone's made a page, in fact two, at least two, I think, that they don't purport to be me, but they're just, like, pages
But
about
have
me.
you ever tried to figure out who it might be?
No. I think I vaguely know. Somebody asked me if I minded, and I said I didn't. But who they actually are, I don't know.
That was my second question. Do you mind it?
No, I don't.
Because you're too busy not doing anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. I couldn't do it myself. I just can't. I won't. I refuse. So I don't mind if anybody else does, in my name. All right.
Okay, whatever will be, will be.
Will be, yeah. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Keep taking the medicine or whatever it is that you're on. Let's go with, Mr. Syllables.
Yeah, I just wanted talk about champagne to try and sort of keep the conversation at a certain level rather than degenerate into mere grunting and groaning down the phone.
Yes.
Yeah, Merton Chandon, because there are other types of, labels of champagne available, like Mum, Cordon Rouge, and I think Hanson Black Label, and can you think of any others?
Hanson?
Is it Hanson or Lanson? Perhaps it's Lanson Black Label.
Yeah, Alan has got his own winery, and he's knocking out the booze.
There's a Heidegger as well. There's one called a Heidegger. But the interesting thing is that the French have protected the champagne as a trademark. The name champagne is a trademark, and no one else can use it.
Quite right, too.
And I remember years and years ago, I think Bulmers came out with something called Pomaine. They called it something like pear champagne, and the French prosecuted Bulmers and forced them to take away this champagne from the bottle.
Yes.
Because it wasn't real champagne.
Quite right.
And our response to that is that we've recently got the Melton Mowbray pork pie classified as a unique food product that no one else can call the Melton Mowbray pork
Isn't that great? The French have got champagne, we've got pork pies.
Yep. Just shows how classy we are.
I know, ain't we? Yeah. Thanks a lot, mate.
Thanks.
Ta-da. Let's go with, this one. Hello, LBC.
Hello. I want to say good night, Aisha, because she's listening to this radio station too.
Stanmore, Garwin.
Oh, hello, am I on the air?
Well, you were. Yeah, there's just something about that one that I thought, let's just dump that one straight away. Addiscombe.
Hello.
Yes. Addiscombe.
Hello, Nick Abbott.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm very disappointed in your show this evening. I'm normally delighted when you're on, but not this evening. It's a bit silly. And the lady in the background, I'm sure she's very nice, Lucy, but it isn't coming over as an interesting show.
Okay. Thanks a lot, dear. But you're still listening, though. That's the important part. It's like 3 3/4 hours in. She hates the show so much that she's still listening and calling yet. Who are you trying to fool? How about Stanmore?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Every time I turn you on, right, I get a certain rush when you make me horny.
Yeah, you've never turned me on. Believe me, Sue.
Hi. My received pronunciation is Moet et Chandon, but the best champagne is Bollinger.
I'm not sure that's correct, is it?
What?
That the best champagne is Bollinger.
Well, I like it best.
Bolly, you saw it on Absolutely Fabulous and you rushed out and you had to have it.
No.
Is that a yes?
No.
All right. Cheers, dear.
No. Bolly was what we actually drank backstage when I was in the theatre.
In the theatre?
Yes.
And what were you?
I was an extra. I wasn't anything big, just, one of those walk on, say 3 lines and walk off again.
Well, you were lucky to get such a nice drink.
Well, we were appreciated by certain people who had taste.
Did they want to get off with you?
No.
Is that a yes?
No.
Right, okay, it's a no. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye-bye. How about Balham, Ryan?
Hello. I'm going definitive on the champagne question.
Go on.
It's Ghostbusters 2.
Can we have no more calls about champagne? Mobile, you're on the air.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
Not too bad.
What can I do for you?
Is it LBC?
Yes, you're on the air.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to give my old comments on how potty some of these people are on their conversations. We're doing night work, and I'm quite surprised how crazy some of them are.
What kind of night work? You know you're on the air.
What now?
Yes. What kind of night work are you doing?
Well, no, we're all painters and grafting up in the city of London, and we've listened to it for the past couple of weeks. And, some of these callers in here, they're absolutely do-daddy, mate.
I'm going to put you on hold and put you through to the relevant department, all right?
Right you are, thanks.
Is there anyone from the relevant department here this evening? No?
If you... Abbott.
You're wondering what it's all about, and I can't tell you because I don't know myself.
Kensal Green.
It's Queen's Park. I'm Nick.
Queen's Park.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
I'm cool. How are you?
Not bad.
How's everything going?
Oh, super.
Okay, cool. Two things. Firstly, it's my birthday on Saturday.
Your birthday? Can you believe it? You made it. Everyone's thrilled.
I'm expecting you to sing happy birthday when I call in on Saturday night.
Rightio.
And secondly, have you got a MySpace page?
Not a personal MySpace. Not one that I've done myself, but there's a couple about me.
Interesting. Well, am I allowed to say my one out on there, or are you probably going to cut me off?
Well, I don't know. There's no problem with that, is there?
No?
I don't think there's any problem with saying your MySpace page on the air.
Okay, it's myspace.com/Crazy Wisdom Jones.
And, and why did you choose the appellation Crazy? Just out of interest? You're not normal, right. Thing is, let's take a straw poll in here. How many people in there think that this bloke is normal? Hands up.
Oh my.
No one. How many thinks that he's crazy? No one. No one thinks you're crazy. Because crazy implies wacky and, you know...
Hyperactive.
You practice?
Hyperactive.
Hyperactive, yeah.
Okay.
Work on it.
No problem. See you
Margate.
Hello, Nick. All right, mate.
John.
Hiya. I thought I'd share with you a little story that I heard today that happened to my friend earlier in the week.
Go on.
It made me laugh. He was taking his HGV driving test, and before they even left the test centre, the examiner was asking him questions and he said to him, "What is the sign you would most see if you were going down a country lane?" And my friend's one of these people that answers questions straight away without even thinking of a minute. And he said, "Pick your own strawberries." And I just thought I'd share that with you, that's all.
All right, thanks.
All right.
When was the last time you even saw a sign that said "pick your own strawberries"? We used to do that when I was a kid, and it was a nightmare. I mean, you were thrilled with the strawberries once you'd got them, right enough, and you're wondering, what the hell are we going to do with all these strawberries? Yes, there would be boxes of them. They were all over the place, and they would cost you virtually nothing at all. But nowadays, you get a punnet of strawberries from the supermarket, and you virtually need to take out a mortgage to buy them. Berries of any kind, awful the price that they charge for a tiny little box of berries. Am I right?
Yeah, especially blackberries.
Blackberries, raspberries, any kind of berry. Those blueberries that at the moment don't taste of anything and come from Poland.
Very good for you.
Well, so they say.
High in antioxidants.
Well, so they say, but I'm sure that they're force-grown and they don't have any nutritional benefit whatsoever, and they cost £3 a box. And there's 6 berries inside. It's just incredible how much they charge for those things. Why do they cost so much?
Because they're very good for you.
No, that can't be it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe... Well, they're only seasonal, aren't they? So.
Well, apparently not, though, because it's October, yeah.
Well, then that's why you're paying extortionate prices.
Well, no, they were that expensive when, in the brief growing season, that they were being bussed in from Kent. £3 for a tiny little box is absolutely stunning. Why not?
I can't. I'm useless.
How about Verinda?
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Do you feel tired?
Do I feel tired?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I take over from here?
Can you take over?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Off you go. Let's have one in Stanmore.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Nick.
Yes.
I would have to excuse me. Flipping up. I have to look.
Orpington. Pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing, and what does it take to get this thing on and pressing, and there it is. Orpington. Am I the only one that has problems with this?
Cadbury's. Slush puppy. Hey!
See, like, how can anybody stand this? Ian does this for 3 hours on a Sunday, and it's the same people over and over and over again. It's like, it's not even like having a conversation in a student disco. It's like, it's not even a sixth form at school. It's just, it's like primary school stuff, isn't it? This is what I used to do. I used to do Screenless years ago. And,
you have to get excited about what might come on next.
All right, let's try it. Forest Hill.
I mean, why do you get so much crazy people when you take calls direct to air?
I guess because they think that they're going to be excluded if they have to go through a screening process. So they get really excited and thrilled about it, and it's like, I don't know, their teenage hormones take over.
They just get really stupid when they get their 15 minutes of fame, I suppose.
Yeah, they're 10 seconds, if 10 that.
Seconds.
Yeah.
As soon as you cut them off.
That's right. Okay, well, that's the answer, all right.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Let's have... What's feet fetish? I mean, I don't even want to go to that. What's that, Lucy?
I really don't know.
Well,
Alex might know the answer to that.
Feet fetish.
Hello there.
Yes.
Yes, I just actually want to talk about this whole straight-to-air thing. A lot of the time it is absolute crap, but occasionally there's some really, really interesting bits there. Would you agree?
Well, on the performance tonight? No, not so far. But you know what? There's 6 minutes to go, so let's find out. All right. Why are you called feet fetish?
Me, because I like sneezing on my housemate's feet.
Here's one in Croydon. John. Pressing and pressing and pressing. John. And seriously, am I the only one who can't operate this touch screen? Really? John.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free.
Heathrow. We're still there. Heathrow. Pressing and pressing and... Yes, Philip. Philip.
Yeah? We straight on air now?
You're on the air, yes.
Yeah, I was just...
See, now, doesn't that sum it up? Absolutely
It's going to put you in a bad mood, isn't it, if you keep going on this?
Yeah, you know what? that Sunday that I'm filling in for Ian, I don't care if I have to read... I'll just read the papers live on the air. I don't care if I don't get any calls. I'm not doing this for 3 hours.
Okay.
How does he stand it?
Well, I guess maybe he gets a bit more excited by what's going to come out. I don't know.
Streatham.
Nick.
Yes.
Straight to air. Well, from a presenter's perspective, what would be the perfect call? Give us a clue so you don't get as many nutters ringing in.
Something that would be brief and funny.
Yeah,
not just moronic. Not just people calling up and going, "Where?" like that. You've got to actually, if you're coming on with material, have material. Don't just be like some sort of 14-year-old who's been given phone privileges for the first time in his life. You know, actually have something prepared. Be funny. That's the key.
I'll work on it.
Okay, well, we'll go away and come back, and I'll consult my runes and see if I can take it anymore.